Hello there, and welcome back.
What is this place?
Disconnected.
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 Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
I'm starting to feel disconnected.
You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Reconnected Live with Krit. And it is the middle of the night, so let's all be extra kind to Krit. Krit, thank you for waking up early for this.
It's okay. I woke up at 1 a.m. I'm on 2.5 hours sleep. Let's go.
Tonight, we're going to have a long announcement show as usual. Everybody is announcing everything under the sun. But also, tonight we're talking about one of Krit and I's famous really favorite actors, I would say. We've talked about him briefly in a couple other things, and this has been a long time coming. We're talking about Denzel tonight.
So Denzel is my favorite actor. I have 2 videos on my channel about Denzel. I have one semi-explaining why he's the greatest of all time, and I have another one where I watch every Denzel movie and then I rank them, which was 55 at the time, but now there's highest to lowest, so it's outdated. So there's 56 now. And also, in doing this, I have changed that ranking quite a lot. So that video is nothing anymore, but still, watch it anyway. It's like an hour and a half.
So now there will be another Denzel video next week that's an hour and a half, maybe?
Of course. Yeah. To be honest, I should do one weekly, just updating. But, yeah.
So we're going to be covering our top 10 favorite Denzel movies at the end of this, and it's going to be long. I'm going to warn everybody now. When we did our M. Night Shyamalan video, we were like, this might be like an hour and 10 minutes, and it was like 2.5 hours. Krit and I like to talk. We break down a lot of this stuff, and Denzel's going to bring out some opinions. I guarantee that. But I'm grateful you're here. It's been, I was telling you before we went live, I was like, for some reason, 2025 has really kind of went by without me noticing. I thought the last time you were on was May or June, and I went, oh, it's been 7 months. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's been technically it's been a long time, but it literally feels like 2 months ago, maybe.
Well, and your life has changed kind of dramatically since the last time you were on here. Not only did you get a new job, you got engaged. Congratulations.
That's true. Yes, I forgot about that.
Here I am just keeping details of everybody's life for everybody.
Yeah, those things happened. Yeah, got a new job, so that's great. I work from home now, so I get to do more stuff like watch Denzel movies. And I got engaged. I proposed in a castle up Scotland. It was very nice.
It's just the traditional way that they do it over there. Don't get confused.
Yeah,
everybody does it. It was not special. Oh man, one thing I wanted to highlight, which everybody obviously, I'm going to say this every time. Krit, all of his links are in the description below. Please go subscribe to his channel. He's great at what he does. One thing that we talked about in the in the Discord quite a bit is that you put up a video this year that I if I'm remembering right, it's like 4.5 hours.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you actually look, I think it's the last video I've uploaded. Yeah. And it was like a month ago or something, because after I finished, it's 4 hours and 29 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah, you needed like a 3-year hiatus after that. I get it.
Big break. I couldn't go straight back to it.
So this is a lot of people that are into physical media. It's some of their favorite types of videos. So what are you doing in the video? Because it's very different than other videos of this kind.
See, I wouldn't know that because I don't watch them. So,
right.
It's me going over every single thing that I own over in that corner, movie-wise, even the stuff on top. I go top to bottom, just kind of talking about what the movie is, why I own it, where I got it, what I think about the movie, and such. It took me, I think, 2 weeks to film it. Because I would sit there it takes a long time to talk about these movies. I was thinking okay, it wouldn't be that bad, you talk about a movie for a minute or whatever. But the problem is, if you have 800 movies, because that's not even the biggest collection ever. It's relatively small compared to a lot of people's. But like, if you talk about at least, one movie for 2 minutes, and then average that out, it's so much time. So it was absolutely killing me to make that video. I was regretting it halfway through.
I went, I'm gonna listen to this while I work. It'll probably take a few days, no big deal. I got through like the first 15 titles, and I was already like, oh man, now I have to go add stuff to a wish list. And by that point, I'm already lost, and I'm like, Jesus, what is going on? We're 8 minutes into this, and he said these were quicker than the rest, and oh boy, and yeah, it is a long haul video. However, very worth it to find out like somebody's inner psyche of why they own many of these, what they like about them, old experiences with them. It's well done.
Also, a lot of that
super
shit got cut because I think I told you like the raw footage of all of that was about 7.5 hours. So there's like 3 hours of just me yapping about like random stuff about these movies that got cut. So to make it at least, I don't know, some godly length. So yeah, there's so much in it. I think honestly, the movies I care the least about, the DVD section, not even the Blu-rays, is my favorite section of the video, because like half of them aren't even mine. They're like my fiance's movies, and they're the most made up movies ever. Just shit no one's ever seen, no one's ever heard of. It's complete bullshit. Like, it's random as fuck. But I did enjoy the video after making it, but the making of it was awful. Yep.
It's it was a feat. Hearing your lamenting as you recorded it and sent me messages was
he was getting updates
funny.
like every day.
I think one of the first few, I think you said something like, I'm through the first 3 rows and I'm sweaty or something like that.
Yeah.
It's been a while,
great.
so I don't remember. Anyways, speaking of those shelves, what have you been adding? Some pickups recently.
So yeah, right. I'll just go for a little poll that I've created. So I picked up The Haunting of Hill House, the director's cut, which I think 3 of the episodes have director's cuts.
Yep.
I'm a big Mike Flanagan guy, big Stephen King, big Shirley Jackson guy. And yeah, I recently read this book, which got me back into the mood of watching it. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's a perfect show. It's a perfect horror show. Mike Flanagan is the GOAT. We ended up going through all the Mike Flanagan stuff, so we are just, I think, like 2 episodes away from finishing House of Usher.
Nice.
But yeah, Mike Flanagan is my guy. Directed The Life of Chuck this year, which I've pre-ordered the whichever
HMV special
release of it. Yeah, that's the one. It was like a month ago, so I forgot.
I love that I remember that for you.
A lot goes on, man. Okay. Another TV show. I got season 1 of Fallout on 4K.
Oh, nice. I've not seen any of it yet.
Right. First of all, I've never played a Fallout game. But the show is really, really good. Like, it's a really good show. I can't speak to how like faithful it is because I don't know. But the show is really good. My biggest gripe though is that the 4K is like this like really thin one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the standard Blu-ray release of this season is thick because it comes with like extras. It comes with like a poster and stuff. And I was like, why does the Blu-ray have all this extra shit and the 4K gets nothing? I was really upset about that, but I wasn't not going to buy it on 4K. So
right. Weird.
I got the Arrow release of The Good, the Bad, the Weird.
Good movie. Good movie.
I've still need to like get back through like this version of it.
Yeah.
But I've not really seen many movies as of late, so I might as well actually talk about these together. So I picked up the BFI release of Chronos, which is beautiful, like this big chunky, very, very beautiful. I saw this for the first time recently when I did my Guillermo del Toro binge, and yeah, it's really, really good. Loved it a lot. At the same time, I picked up Pacific Rim on 4K because it's Pacific Rim, Guillermo del Toro, it's beast. Deep Red, the Arrow release of Deep Red, because I was watching some Dario Argento movies not too long ago, and this is one I've never seen.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Everyone tells me like this is like one of the ones.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of Dario Argento, but this is like one of like the most canon ones that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
So I'll get to it at some point. Speaking of M. Night, we got Unbreakable on 4K finally.
Looks good on 4K too.
I just love it so much. I don't like how they've like airbrushed Bruce Willis on this cover though.
Every single M Night film on 4K from the studio has looked
Yeah.
like crap.
Yeah, dude, the Signs 4K poster is awful. It's like one of the scariest things I've ever seen. It's like they've got like mannequins of the actors that have like slightly melted. It looks horrific. But I have the steelbook for that, so I don't have to deal with that problem.
Smart man.
Strange Darling.
Love that movie. I have that released too.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Really love it. JT Molnar recently with The Long Walk, wrote The Long Walk, and yeah, everyone should go and see The Long Walk because it is really good.
JT Molnar currently working on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre TV show too.
That is true. I knew that yesterday. And the last thing, this was a pre-order that I forgot I pre-ordered. It is The Hackers 4K
Films,
box
nice.
set. My friend recommended this movie to me, weirdly enough, like, I don't know, 4 or so months ago or something. And I was like, this sounds stupid. I'm in. And I watched it, and it is stupid, and I loved it. And then literally the next month, this was announced.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, that's crazy. So I pre-ordered it like immediately.
Very nice. It is a very silly movie, but it is quite fun.
Yeah, it's so 90s. It's goofy as fuck. Like none of the computer stuff is at all accurate to anything.
I don't even think it
works.
aged like 18 months after
No.
the movie came out. Literally, seriously, about that time I was like, oh, that's very dated. It was like that just premiered last March.
I'm gonna be real, with the exception of Matthew Lillard and Angelina Jolie, I don't think this cast aged 18 months. I think everyone became pretty much irrelevant as soon as this movie dropped.
I can't really argue that, probably.
Actually, no, because there's this one guy in it that's in Succession.
Yeah.
So there's that. I never know the guy's name, but we used to call him Neck because in Succession he has like a really big bobble head and a really thin neck.
Yep. Is it Ethan Embry? I always want to say that.
It might be. Oh
For
right,
some
yeah,
reason.
and it also has what's his name? Penn from Penn and Teller, or is he
Yeah.
Teller? I don't know which one he is.
Penn Jillette.
Yeah, that one. He's in it randomly as well. Such an odd movie.
It is.
But yeah, Hackers. Me.
I've got a very small amount of things to talk about, but the first is the newest issue of the magazine finally showed up a good 3 weeks into the month, and it is really nice in the hand. Check this out. I posted about Patreon. We'll talk about that tonight, but if you sign up in the next couple days, you can still get that issue before October rolls around. Oh, I did not mean Fisher Stevens. If that's who it is, that's really funny because they are not related in any way. Thanks,
So
Simner. My next pickup is
It is
Mondo
Fisher
Macabro.
Stevens.
Oops, I'm dumb. My next is the Mondo Macabro pickup. This is I Hate My Body, which is by far to me the most intriguing of the recent, I think it was 3 films that they put out. And yeah, these were shipping a little late, and I think there was a delay for some because they ran out of red cases. But those should be shipping now in the next couple days. Altered Innocence, I feel like, is not getting a lot of coverage lately, but I immediately had to get So Unreal that they announced. This is a music-heavy release that they did, and I loved this inner art. And yeah, this is one that is narrated by who is it? It's Amanda Kramer, who's real heavy into this. Debbie Harry's involved heavily in this. Very curious about this one, so we'll be checking that out. And then we're talking about Umbrella tonight and their second announcement, or sorry, their announcement for the second volume of the New Zealand cult films that they're doing. I just got in the first volume. This is Kiwi Cult Volume 1. This has in it The Irreparable Truth About Demons, Perfect Creature, and Under the Mountain. 3 films, 3 separate cases, comes with a book. Nothing else crazy. It's not like one of the Umbrella Collector's editions that are super lavish. It's basically just a hard box and a book that you get with it. But for New Zealand films that even like a lot of New Zealand individuals don't know about, I feel like this is a pretty good deal for 3 decent movies. Noodles is saying, what label is this? This is Umbrella. If you're talking about the last one, that was Altered Innocence. Altered Innocence. You had gotten a little bit burned out on movies, so you were not watching stuff for quite some time. Tonight, with us talking about Denzel, that reignited some things. Do you want to share anything about the movies you've watched this week, or do you want to play coy until the end?
Well, yeah. So this is the thing. So I watched like a lot of movies, and when I started my new job from working from home, I ended up watching like 5-6 movies a day. And it got to the point where like I couldn't stand watching movies anymore. And then so I started reading more, and then I started watching TV shows a bit more with my partner. And yeah, I've waved in and out, but this last week I was like, right, I probably should watch 1 or 2 Denzel films just to refresh my mind. And I watched Mo Better Blues. And I was like, man, I love Denzel. So I've ended up watching 10 Denzel movies this week. So actually, I say that the last like 3 days, I watched 10 Denzel movies. Not all of them are on the list, but yeah, some of them are. There's no point going into them because most of them I'm going to talk about at some point. And I'll probably find a way to squeeze in the other ones into some like conversation anyway. But before that, what did I watch? I watched Eddington, which I'm like a known Ari Aster hater. He's off Fraud Watch. I put him on Fraud Watch for a while, but I'm taking him off because Eddington was all right. It was decent. Good little movie.
Off Fraud Watch is hilarious to say about one of like the most highest acclaimed up and coming directors.
The man's a fraud. I watched I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new one.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, horrific. I was live updating you while I was watching it. It took me half a day to watch it because I kept stopping. I couldn't watch it. It was awful. And then, I just watched some other stuff from this year. Found footage, The Making of the Patterson Project, which was okay. Together, Oh Hi, and The Long Walk, which is fantastic.
Oh Hi was enjoyable. Did you like Oh Hi? I don't remember if you posted them.
Yeah. I didn't like write a review or nothing, but I thought it was okay. It was good. It was a charming little movie. I don't think like I'll be talking about it at any point, but like
no visual essay springs to mind immediately.
But it's fine. And then I also watched Highest to Lowest, obviously.
Of course. Corinne wants to know if you're okay with sharing. What do you do for a job?
Oh, I don't know. So I'm so enraptured by myself. I am a QA, so a quality assurance for a tech company. So basically, we run like it's called a PIM, which basically just means we manage data for companies. Like if you're in the, do you guys have JD Sports? I don't know if you do. Probably not.
Never heard of her.
JD Sports, it's like a UK like chain where they sell like trainers and football tops and whatever. Their online stores, their data's managed through us, so they don't update their websites directly. They do it through us and whatever. Anyway, if a code developer makes a bit of code, changes the system, I'm the one that has to make sure it works. Pretty much, that's my job.
Not too bad.
I get to break code for a living, basically.
Break code and then attempt to fix it. Wouldn't call him a fraud so much as mediocre to consistently underwhelming, says Noodles. I get that. I think a lot of people feel that way, actually. Recent watches for me. So this has been a wild week. We started off with the Patreon watch along was this last weekend in the Discord, and we watched a Pedro Almodovar film from 1983 called Dark Habits. It is that was a interesting response.
Yeah, it's fine. Go on. Yeah.
It is quite early in Almodovar's career, so it doesn't have his skill mastered yet. It's still quite stylish, but it was certainly not for me. Pretty much everything else I've seen from him has been vastly superior. However, still worth the watch. You see some nuns doing heroin, if that's your bag, I guess. It's not a terrible movie. It's Almodovar, so yeah, it was never going to be awful. But worth the watch. After that, I had my, of course, theater day of the weekend. It was only a triple feature this weekend. Went and saw him. Enough about that. Went and saw a Big Bold Beautiful Journey. This is the newest one with Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. And this one, go ahead.
No, I've not seen it, so I can't really comment on it, which is weird. It's not often that someone's seen a new movie and I haven't, so this is like a fun, refreshing moment. I just didn't know it existed.
Yeah, the marketing's been weird. Like I've seen the trailer a lot because I go to the theater every single weekend. But other than that, I don't think I've heard of it outside of the theater.
I literally saw a TikTok about it yesterday. And I was like, oh, what's Colin Farrell doing? Like hanging out with Margot Robbie? That's so weird. And then at the end, like in the little description, it was like, go and sit. And I was like, they have a movie?
Yeah.
Why isn't that everywhere?
What's funny is your response to it is basically the response that I felt in the theater. I was like, why are they hanging out next to each other? They had zero chemistry. I get that everybody has been saying that, but it's absolutely true. It certainly feels like they're both falling in love with different people that aren't in the movie with them.
Right.
Oddly. The biggest thing, like it's a beautiful movie. It's shot wonderfully. It's Kogonada, so it's going to be colorful and like whimsical and stuff. However, the dialogue certainly a little awkward for me. It definitely felt a little less human than I think they would have been in the moment. It's meant to be like a bubblegum pop type of script, it feels like, and it's quite mainstream in that effect. The plot itself is not mainstream, so I feel like those are sort of juxtaposing a bit. I like this, but as Sibner is trying to say, it puts Life of Chuck to shame. It does not.
Shut up.
Life of Chuck is miles beyond
Shut the
Big Bold
fuck up.
Beautiful Journey.
I haven't even seen this movie. I'll break this screen. Don't don't you dare.
That's really funny. Followed that up though with my favorite movie of the week, which is The History of Sound. This is the newest one with Paul Mescal, which I fell in love with after Aftersun because that movie is a masterpiece. I've seen it, gosh, I think 5 times or 4 times in the last 3 years already. But the big thing is he stars with Josh O'Connor, and they're both just magnificent in this movie. It's about two students at a music conservatory in, I think it's Boston or the Northeast, somewhere like that, in like the mid 1910s. They're literally in the middle of the First World War, and that comes into play a little bit. But it's this very quaint, slow-moving story about their relationship forming as friends and like lifelong friends and more, obviously, as that goes on, because they're inseparable and then they're forced to separate and then they are separated without their choice. And there's a lot of anguish as that goes through. But the big thing is they're collecting songs is the way that they put it in the movie. And they're going around with wax cylinders for people to record. And when they get them, it's supposed to be going into the conservatory for this big music program. But it is emotional. It is beautiful. It is wonderfully acted. If you don't like slow cinema, you're probably not going to like this movie. It's not like nothing happens type of cinema, but it is a very almost like melodrama type of 2025 attempt at telling history through a romantic interspersed life story type of movie. And it's great. I walked out of the movie and told my wife, I think we just watched Gay White Sinners. And that's how it felt. But I've got to be honest, the same year that Sinners came out, they'd probably make a double feature to just absolutely wreck you emotionally and musically. It's a really good time. Yeah, check out the History of Sound, because I feel like hardly anybody is going to see that movie.
Okay, I'll watch it. You convinced me.
There's one.
It was very passionate.
The last thing I watched this week, which I'm only saying this because I'm leading into a watch of the sequel on Saturday, and I'm very much not looking forward to it. I finally got to see The Strangers Chapter 1, and all I have to say is, why did they make that movie? It is the hottest of hot garbage. my dear friend Dustin, who is probably going to watch us at some point and comment and say, "Oh my gosh," he posted a review of it today because he watched the first one again. He really likes the first one, and Dustin, I'm sorry that you hit your head this morning. The Strangers Chapter 1 is not good. It's not good in the least bit. I don't know why they had to do this. It is a beat-for-beat remake, but like they were making it while trying to find out if they could close all the doors and not have oxygen and see how long they could survive. Because it's bad. It's real bad.
No, I did write a big piece about Strangers Chapter 1 somewhere, and I thought like it might have just been on Letterboxd, but it's not, so I have no idea where that is. It's awful.
Yeah.
It is terrible. It is just the first movie all over again, but way worse.
Yeah. There's so many asinine decisions about it. Like the big one that I'll point out, and this is not a spoiler in any way, but the main character's boyfriend, he just randomly goes and gets on a motorcycle that he's never driven before, knows how to start it, knows how to drive into town after a wet, rainy day, and goes and gets food, and he's totally fine, and he gets back to the house, and all that. Why? He would not have been able to do that. It's not something he could do. The sequel is going to be the same director as Strangers Chapter 1, Noodles, but it's not the same director as the 2008 one. Very different, much worse.
Yeah. If you want to watch Strangers Chapter 1, just rewatch The Strangers, and you'll be good.
Rewatch The Strangers, but close one eye and stand on your head, and it's basically Strangers Chapter 1.
Yeah, that works.
I've not finished it yet, but I did want to give a shout out. I started watching EFIS. I need to finish it. This movie freaking rules.
It's so sick.
It is such a good hangout vibe, just great time. I've got about 25 minutes left, but it is a blast. One of the best of the year by far. Definitely going to be top 10, top 15 for me.
Yeah, I have it quite high in my list. As current, I've seen 112 2025 films. And it's just outside the top 10.
I am doing way better than I've ever done in a current year, and I think this is going to be. Oh, before I answer this, let me make sure, because I don't think I'm including the ones from this last weekend. Once EFIS gets added in there, I will be at 92, and for me, that's really high. I used to be like finish the year at like 40 if I'm really lucky.
Look at you go.
Yeah. This whole going to the theater for a whole day every weekend really kind of helps. I've noticed. It is a good movie. Check it out, Noodles. It's a blast.
It is. It's very good.
All right. Anything planned for your show that you want to highlight before we get into the announcements tonight?
Well, no. I am working on a video very, very slowly. But I don't have the motivation to do a lot of it. I mean, it's a big project again, just like the last one, and I've edited about an hour of it. And even then, that hour is not even touching like a quarter of it. Yeah. So it's a big boy project, so it won't be for a very long time. So
well, I've got two more things to talk about before we do announcements. One heavily involves Krit, so I'm going to bring that one up real quick. Ooh. You got to help with a disc in the last couple weeks. You got to edit a piece for the imprint release of Jade.
Damn right I did. Yeah, that was fun.
You kind of crushed it.
It was like the quickest turnaround of anything I've ever edited ever. Because I don't ever edit anything with any urgency. Right. Not anymore anyway. Like back when I used to do 2 videos a week, there was a lot of urgency, but since I stopped doing that, there's none at all. But as soon as you messaged me about that, I was like, yep, I'll do that. Like the next day I'm available.
You did an absolutely wonderful job. Michelle is very happy with how her essay turned out with your panache on it. How was that different at all compared to all the visual essays you do for your channel, or did it feel like you had just been studying this for years now?
I don't know how to say this without sounding like a dick, but
sound like a dick. We want to hear that.
It was way easier than doing anything for my channel. Way easier.
Well, it wasn't you.
One, yeah. like editing for a YouTube audience is a lot different than editing for, like, you know, someone that's watching like a bonus feature. Because if
So
someone's
true.
sat there to watch a bonus feature, they've already kind of processed in their head that they're just sitting there watching this thing, whatever. But like with YouTube, like I feel like it has to be so stimulating all the time, you know, as people lose interest and it doesn't get
Yep.
picked up and blah 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 blah. And also like the copyright thing. Like if anyone watches my videos, I mean, especially like recent times, there's a cut in the footage every 4 seconds or so, which makes like a 10-minute video take hours to edit. Whereas this, you don't have to worry about the copyright as much. You still have to worry about pacing and stuff, so you cut at appropriate times and stuff like that. But like, you don't have to worry about getting tripped up as much. Plus, it's just more fun because I didn't know really what was in there, what it was about. Whereas, like when it's me, I know exactly what it is. It's scheduled, it's regimented. Like when I write a script, I will already in a separate folder have like it planned the editing from top to bottom, what images I need, what footage I need, and it's all numbered. So when I take it into the program, it's all in place kind of already. With this, it was just kind of like listen to it and figure it out, which was like fun.
Yeah. And one thing I got to find out, because I've not asked this yet, had you seen Jade before this edit, or was this the first time watch?
I didn't watch it. Which made editing it like really difficult because anytime like she mentioned like a character in the movie, I had to Google who the character was,
right,
just to make sure. But I feel like I've seen it now because I've had to like, I had the footage of the whole movie and I was like going through and I was like, so I know what it's about. I know the ending, but like I've never like properly seen it. But yeah, it made, that's why there was like a whole confusion with like a character's name and stuff like that, and it was tripping me out because I was like, I'm missing something here. But no, I want to see it, and if I get a copy of this release, then I'll definitely see it.
I sent you the film.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. But you know, but if I get this copy, I probably will watch it. It's Friedkin. Of course, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it's a lot better than people give it credit for.
Yeah, I looked and like I can't remember exactly what the Rotten Tomatoes is. Let me have a look.
It's not great.
No, it's awful. It's like 18%.
Yeah. The big problem is it came out like 3 weeks or 4 weeks after Showgirls, and everybody was like, "Oh, erotic thrillers are done now." And so Jade came out, and everybody's like, "Yeah, we don't care. This is bad." And it was just poorly made. When in all reality, it's Friedkin. It's wonderfully made. There's a really great chase scene in it. Some like gnarly, very adult scenes with some like really crazy blood for a pretty mainstream movie that came out.
Well, this is the thing. I saw the you know the 18%, and even when I saw that, I was like, that doesn't look right. Like I've not seen this, and I can be fairly certain 18% is harsh. Like I have seen what Friedkin can do, and at a certain point, there's directors where like even at their worst, something is competent.
Yeah,
you know, like the worst Spielberg movie is still competently made. You know, so like
especially that deep in his career. If it was like year 3, maybe okay.
But yeah, this is 95. Like Friedkin's not new. You know, and from what I saw, it looked very well made.
It is quite well made, and Brian is right. He says the problem is David Carradine. He means David Caruso. But yeah, David Caruso is absolutely the problem on Jade. He doesn't fit tonally, and I think that's why he got relegated to TV pretty quickly after this movie came out.
Right? Yeah.
Ugh. The other thing to bring up is a quite British problem this week as well. So it's specific that Krit is here. Gary's asking for it in the comments too. So I had planned to bring this up. He says, could you discuss BFI's 4Ks of Nosferatu the Vampire and Aguirre the Wrath? So yeah, let's get into this. So there's been some quote controversy. BFI had announced 4K releases of Aguirre and Nosferatu the Vampire, Herzog films that people love. Like, these are very beloved films. I've got literally a Nosferatu the Vampire poster right there that I can see. These are movies that people had wanted in like legendary 4Ks for the longest time. And then they come in from BFI, and somebody's taken some screen caps and posts on Reddit that these were restored by AI, and you can tell by looking at the faces. And here's some screen caps to compare the Blu-ray and the 4K. Now, the way that they are put together in the Reddit post that started this whole flame war, they look pretty not great, I will say. They don't look very filmic. They look quite denoised, and we'll get to that in just a moment. However, I didn't see anything that would say immediately this is AI specifically. So I didn't really say anything. I didn't post anything. A couple of us, we talked about it in DMs and stuff, but that was it. But then Mark from Orbit DVD went and posted that he took it home and opened it up because one was damaged, and watched it, and he said, it looks very good. Everybody will probably appreciate this. Now, a lot of people noticed, hey, you own a retail store. You don't want people to cancel discs. You have every reason to say that this looks great. And so people started making Reddit posts in response to his social media post saying, Mark's a complete liar. These look awful. He should not have said anything. All this big hubbub. The reality is, here's where we are. The BFI has responded in a couple spots on social media saying that the German company that restored these did not allow them to do any further restoration work on the scans that they were given. They had tinkered with them in some ways that the BFI does not know all the details about, and they were forced to choose to release them like this or not release them at all. Now, many of you would probably say, well, yeah, don't release them, because you should stand behind the integrity of what you're putting out and know that it's the highest of quality. And honestly, I can't really argue with that. If you think it looks bad, why are you releasing it? I get that. But they had already paid for everything. There was no way out of the license. It was either that or take a huge loss. And it's the BFI. Like, they're supported by donations through the British government and a lot of other things. They don't have a ton of money to just lose on a couple giant titles, sadly. So, my thoughts. Does it look like it could be AI? Yes, with the question mark. If you look at the screen caps specifically, 1-to-1, right against each other, the Blu-ray, to my eyes, does look better. Specifically the coloring. However, one of the things that I definitely want to say about this is that the ability to like denoise film in very, very like the most basic, not even like filmmaking programs or anything like that, like DaVinci Resolve, you can denoise things, and it looks like it is that level of denoising done where everything is smoothed out. It almost looks like foreheads are like painted clear, almost not like the color clear, but like clear of any blemishes. You can very much tell that it's been had a lot of very heavy DNR applied pretty much throughout the entire film. It's not a great look. That being said, does it look so bad that you don't want to watch it? Not really. Will we ever know if it's truly AI? Probably not. Now, the sad thing is that response doesn't get clicks and people riled up to either buy or cancel orders, so that will never be discussed with nuance anywhere. But yeah, we probably just don't know what it was. The hard part is that right now, everybody wants to scream AI when there's something that they don't like. And denoising and scrubbing grain out of film has been around for a long time. That doesn't mean that it's generative AI doing it, which means you probably should not apply that term to it as an accusation publicly unless you have reason to believe it. One specific example that I will share that is very obviously doing that over the last couple of years is the I Love Lucy Blu-ray set that came out. In the background of some of those scenes, there are faces that when they are, we'll say that they're looking away from the camera like this, and then they start to turn. When they get about here, a full face appears like here, and then it distorts as they keep coming around to the camera. It's really bad. If it's AI, if you're watching a moving image, you should be able to know very quickly. If you're looking at a still image, unless there's something very obviously fake, like 18 fingers on a hand or something like that, it can be quite difficult to see, is this AI or is it really bad, like removal of grain and smoothing? It's not great. Either way, like I said, it's not something that's appealing in a filmic way. However, jumping to AI is ridiculous. We definitely need to have more nuance when discussing this as a industry and as hobbyists and as people that love movies. Period. Any thoughts on AI, Krit? Other than you're vehemently for it.
Yeah, I fucking love AI. No, it's awful. It's genuinely terrible. I hate it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, part of my job, and a big part of my job actually, because I for our like PIM system, we have an AI section, and it doesn't work. It's broke. It's fucked. But I'm the one that I'm like the specialist in the AI department to test it.
Yeah.
And it's awful. Like I have to see just bullshit AI stuff all day, every day, and it's terrible. And to think that any of that gets anywhere near art, especially stuff like Nosferatu the Vampire, that's disheartening, if true. But also like I've seen so many restorations that just have, you know, shitty quality to it that makes it seem like AI even if it's not. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think BFI historically have been a decent company. They've put out decent releases and stuff like that. So I don't think like it's worth trying to like jumping straight to an accusation and almost ruining a reputation of a fairly innocent like distributor. Like because the AI tag is so I don't know, just
overused.
marking. It's so marking for a label. You know, if like James Cameron used the AI to restore like Aliens and all of that stuff, and it like it's pretty much killed all hope for any future James Cameron restorations. People don't want to see any of them at all because you know the AI thing. So
they're
even
already
if future
shit and they haven't
ones,
even happened.
yeah. So even if like you know they do a future one without AI, people aren't going to care. People aren't going to want it because of you know the bad history.
Yep.
And they're applying that same kind of hatred or that same kind of mark to BFI without verification, which I think is very strong, especially since it's off stills. Now, I don't think you know stuff should be degrained and stuff like that. I personally love the texture of film, but it is what it is. It happens all the time. It you know, and stills can be really really deceiving. You know, like how this movie looks in motion and how it will look in still form is going to be completely different. It always is. The opposite is true as well. Like sometimes you see a still of a movie that looks amazing, and then you watch the movie and it's awful. This is a terrible movie. So like, you know, it goes either way. But yeah, AI stinks.
I do agree with Craig, who says scrubbed of grain shouldn't be acceptable either. I agree fully. It absolutely should not be. This joke is very good, Matthew. Matthew says, my biggest issue with AI is Haley Joel Osment's performance. Yes, hilarious. Noodle says, my biggest complaint with older films getting newer releases as far as their quality goes is whether the skies are blue or look dirty, scratched, or hyper grainy. I mean, they should look, for some of them, very grainy. Film inherently has grain. So I can't necessarily agree with that last part.
It looks good.
Brendan says, did they not agree to do restoration of the materials when they strike the licensing deal? How can the German provider, the OCN, say, no, you can't restore this? Because they don't allow them to do any more work on the materials, depending on what their contract is, which I should state, supposedly BFI is saying that Shout is actually, was actually able to do restoration work after the same scan that the BFI got. So Shouts might be very different. We have not seen those yet. They are also announced and coming very, very soon. but it is absolutely something that you got to pay attention to. It is super important. The BFI 4K of Aguirre, hadn't seen it since DVD, looked pretty good, says Brian. Problem is, if I take out the shrink wrap to find out for myself, then I can't return it. Honestly, I'm keeping both of mine. I completely understand that fully. Matthew, part of me says keep the grain because that's how it looked on release. Another part of me says there's no grain in real life, so if you can make a movie more lifelike, have at it. That's not how it was captured at the time, though. The film that was being used, especially before, gosh, like 1991-ish, it was inherently more grainy. We'd not gone so far into the cell technology that it was not super grain free. I mean, if you look at even movies shot on film in 2025 are a lot less grainy than something shot on film in 1985. The cost of the materials, the quality of the materials, all of that changes it entirely.
Also, I'm a big believer that film should look the furthest from real life as possible.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a major problem with like a lot of modern movies. Like people say, you know, they're always moaning about lighting and the way like things are set and blah 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 blah. But I think it's this addiction that companies have with making things look real, having the lighting look realistic. Who gives a fuck? I have never watched a, you know, like say an Argento movie and complained that it's, you know, the red lighting's not realistic enough because it's art. It's not meant to be what we have. If all movies are just real life, then there's no point watching them. You might as well just live.
Yeah.
You know, I watch art to see the world in a different lens than what I see it in.
I get that fully. And yeah, just like Paul says, too smooth is never a good look. Craig says film stocks are chosen specifically for the amount of grain they have. Grain level is often part of the artistic choice of the director and cinematographer. Absolutely. And then he also says some HDR releases push the grain and noise well beyond what they would have looked like. I agree that can be an issue. Yeah, something to keep in mind for sure. Gary, great way to say this. Grain is the mechanism that delivers the detail in film. You can't just scrub grain then slap on a sharpening filter. Fucking Topaz.
Apparently you can, so.
Just like that. Thanks, Craig. Thanks for all your insight, but that's over. Krit says you can. So
apparently you can. I'm not an expert in the field, but they're doing it.
On that note, I think it's time to get into announcements. That was so dismissive, and I loved it.
It was a good point, Gary. My bad.
It was. Brian says, to Craig's point, stocks were also chosen by budget. Slower stock needs more light, means bigger budget. Absolutely. All right, let's get started with the UK. Since Krit is here, November 17th, there is a 4K coming from Second Sight of Pearl and of Maxine. We're going to be talking about both of those, but I got to admit, it's getting to be kind of a running joke that I will say I've got a feeling that something's coming, and then the next week it gets announced. Literally last week on the show, I said, man, I have a feeling Second Sight is going to be doing a trilogy of all these, and then they only announced 2 out of 3. But hey, I was 2/3 right.
Why do we know why they're not doing X?
Somebody else already has the rights to X, and they are holding it hostage from them in the UK.
Stinker. I'll be picking up the Pearl. I will not be picking up Maxine. And then if they eventually get to X, then I'll be picking that up as well.
Yep. So the extras here, you'll notice they are quite different than the A24 extras because they are actually fairly robust here compared to A24's not super long list of extras.
A24.
So for Pearl, we got HDR with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, new commentary with Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, new interview with Ty West, new interview with Tandy Wright, new interview with the DP Elliot Rocket, new interview with the production designer Tom Hammock, new visual essay by Joe Wallace. There is a piece called Coming Out of Rochelle and Time After Time. Those are also on some other releases. We've also got a 120-page book with new essays by Jen Adams, Joel Harley, Mo Moshadi, Tori Potenza, Vanna Taylor, and Nadine Whitney, plus the very stereotypical Second Sight list of 6 collector's art cards, because they do that for every release to make it look like it's loaded with extras. Yeah, this is a solid release. I loved Pearl. I think this is my favorite of the 3 still. good movie, good art. I think this looks good.
Yeah, fire. Looks really nice. I'll be picking it up.
A lot of love for Pearl in the comments. Love seeing that.
Nice.
Maxine is the second one from them, also coming on November 17th on 4K. This is my least favorite of the three. I don't hate this one, but I feel like it's a big quality drop off from the other two. The art for this one, I feel like, is off compared to Pearl. It just doesn't quite feel right on the box.
Weak.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so red either. The movie's not very red, is it?
No, it could have been like a purple or pink, and it would have been a little bit better.
I think pink would have been more suiting.
We got HDR with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos again. New commentary by Bill Ackerman and Amanda Reyes. I really want to hear that commentary. There's a new interview with Ty West again. New interview with Jacob Jafke, who's the producer on this. We got a new interview with the director of photography, Elliot Rocket, again. We got a new interview with the production designer on this one, which is Jason Kisvarde. We've got Kat Hughes speaking on Maxine, and then 4 other featurettes and Q&As that were on some other releases in the States. And then again, a 120-page booklet with new essays by Reina Cervantes, Sarah Miles, Sam Moore, James Rose, Rebecca Sace, and Michelle Swope, and 6 more art cards.
Those aren't even art cards.
No, they're like character
sheets.
cards. Yeah. Let's see. There's something off with her face on the box. Yeah. I mean, even if the booklet cover was the cover of the box, I think it would have been a little bit better.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's see. Stefano says, "I'm sure I'm alone, but I thought this one was better than Triple X." Or are you saying than X?
It's better than the Vin Diesel movie? I think not.
I love X. X is almost as good as Pearl, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have X and Palette like the same level. They're both really good.
Nice. Josh talked with Bill about the commentary a few months ago. Any guesses on the label for the licensing for X? It is. We already know it. It's entertainment and video, and they've only released it on Blu-ray, and that's the best you're getting. So good luck. It's not even a good label. It's not a good release. It's tripe. So yeah, that's it for Second Sight, and I will be the one before all the comments start saying it. Where's Possession? I have that question too. I have a feeling we will get that announced in not tomorrow, but next Friday.
Motherfucker! I get to miss the Possession one. Great.
Yes, you do. TerrorVision last Friday dropped their 4K release of Happy Hell Night from 1991. This is a Halloween themed Halloween themed slasher from 91 that is pretty damn good. This is scanned and restored in 4K from the 35mm OCN. This is a 2-disc set with the 4K and Blu-ray, both are region free. We've got Dolby Vision on the 4K. We got a commentary with Amanda Reyes again, and also Dan Budnick, her podcasting partner in crime. Interview with Elvis Restaino. Interview with Gabe Bartalos. Interview with Michael Negrin. Full 2K master presentation of the Code Red Blu-ray version that they put out years ago. And then brand new subtitles and some more extras on the way that we have not confirmed publicly yet. But you can pre-order this now, and this will be shipping with all of your 13 weeks of Halloween stuff, or November if you order it on your own. This movie's good. Have you seen this one?
I have not. I hate that text. But other than that, I don't have an opinion on this.
The font itself?
Yeah. I don't like it at all. It looks like, do you remember, like, I don't even know what it was on, maybe like Microsoft Paint or whatever, but like those really old like Word graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those. I don't like that at all. Maybe it's like just because it's like the digital like copy of it though. Obviously because it's like a format that they've just like put the cover on or whatever. I assume it looks better when you actually have it like on
always
the release, yeah.
Always. Next up is doozy. November 26th, Imprint is releasing a wild mix of 4K Blu-ray and VHS in one package in Australia of Silent Night, Deadly Night Parts 1 and 2. So we've got one of their, as they like to use the words, heavy bespoke packages. And this is 24 by 32 centimeters, weighs in at 1.5 kilos. And for those of you that are not British, 1.5 kilos, how many American pounds is that, Krit? Do you know offhand?
No, I only know real units. Sorry.
If I remember right, it's about 4.5 pounds, literally, which is a shit ton comparatively. This is going to be a massive release. This is going to have 3 full color matte laminated 27 by 40 inch folded posters. That's just for the first movie, I believe. We've got at least one for the second one. Yeah, a full 27 by 40 for the second one. A reproduction of the full press kit. 8 replica lobby cards with original production stills. A reprint of issue number 1 of the Silent Night, Deadly Night comic adaptation. A 3D lenticular hard case to hold all 4 discs. And this is only going to be pressed once, of course. And let's see. Extras on this are all extras that you've seen before, nothing new whatsoever. Disc 1 in this is the theatrical cut of Silent Night, Deadly Night on 4K. Disc 2 is the theatrical cut of Silent Night, Deadly Night on Blu-ray. Disc 3 is Silent Night, Deadly Night unrated cut on Blu-ray. And so that's the only way you're getting the unrated cut, not on 4K. And then Disc 4 is Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 theatrical cut. And then there will also be a VHS of the first film. Dear God, that's a lot.
I don't know what the fuck you want me to say about this. Is stupid.
Anything about a full 1.5 kilo release of Silent Night, Deadly Night?
It's less than necessary. I think I think we could do more. They're missing a DVD for sure. We need to add a DVD. I think 4 posters is awkward. We might as well make it 5.
Well, it's 3 from one movie and 1 of the second movie. That's even more awkward.
Yeah, I say we go 3 for the first, 2 for the second.
And this is a quite pricey release. For those of you in the US, which is a very different currency than the Australian dollar right now, because Australian is quite more inflated than the US release. But you can pre-order this right now from the US retailers that already have this up for $153 US.
Not worth. How many fake dollars is that? Or dingo dollars? How much is that?
I think it's like 300 dingo dollars.
Jesus. Yeah, that currency is not real. What do you mean 300? What kind of conversion is that?
It just clicked what we both just said. Oh, sorry. It's 220 dingo dollars.
That's crazy.
Don't they call it dingo dollaroos?
I don't know. The whole place is made up. I don't.
Yeah. They should have done with Snow what they did for Dune. That would have been a good release, says Gary. That would have been interesting. It wouldn't have been $220 Australian interesting, but it would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's carry on before we all die of shock. This is such a funny way to word this. Radiance over in the UK has announced a replacement program for The Betrayal with this ominous-looking, bright red, The Betrayal disc replacement program message. You can find out what is going on by reading this message, or I can tell you right now, they found out their audio commentary just starts at the wrong point on the disc, and they're willing to give everybody a brand new disc because of it. They have stopped shipping the title so that they can replace it. If you ordered it elsewhere, you can email info@radiancefilms.co.uk, and they will send you out a brand new disc.
Right. I didn't know this was for a movie called The Betrayal, so I thought like they were just announcing this as a betrayal program.
Yes.
Like they betrayed the audience in some kind of way.
It's quite funny.
Which I guess they did. Yeah, that's cool of them, I guess. It's nice.
Yes. Here we go. Deaf Crocodile announced their full details of the October slate finally. This is stuff that we've been hyping up for quite some time, and I'm so stoked to be able to see both of these. These are both shipping near the end of October, and the first is a double feature of Alrane and The Student of Prague. These are from 1927 and 1926. And they are silent films, obviously, based on when they were released. They are both by, what is the guy's name? I can't remember at the moment. I don't remember. And it's not listed there because I couldn't fit everything because there's so many extras on this, Craig. I know you love to hear that. Conrad Veidt, is that his name? Nope, that's the star. I have completely failed you. I'm sorry. This is a crazy looking release, though.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Single case with 2 discs, says Craig. And yes, incredible artwork by Dave McKean on here. We've got 2 films. The first one is 131 minutes. The second one is 133. See, I read that title and I see it there, and I didn't think that was his name, but it is Henrik Galeen is the director of both of these. Extras. We got a new video interview with Stefan Drossler of the Film Museum München about the preservation of Al Rane and the Student of Prague. That was moderated by Dennis. We got a new audio commentary by Jan Christopher Horak, the former director of the UCLA Film and TV Archive and the Film Museum München. We've got a new audio commentary on the second title. He does both of those. That's right. Then we've got new artwork by Beth Morris on the standards, of course, like she always does. And then Fidelity and Motion, as usual, did the authoring. We got a new 80-page book with newly translated essays by Hans-Heinz Ewers, Henrik Galeen, and Felix Panton. Reprinted essays from 1928, 1929, and 1993. New essay by Stefan Drossler. New essay by Walt Cha. New essay by Stephen Bissett. Just absolutely ridiculous. This is incredible. Reservoir fellow wants to know, has Deaf Crocodile ever released an American movie? Yes, actually, quite a few, especially the most famous ones is Bill Plimpton. Their Bill Plimpton stuff is quite nice.
He also did Fast and Furious, right?
Only part 3.
Right.
So
that's the best one,
not,
so it's fine.
Not US, though. I mean, it's US production, but was filmed in Tokyo, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, Solomon King. That's the other one. That's right. I'm still laughing at Tokyo Drift. Oh.
No, if Deaf Crocodile put out Tokyo Drift, I'll buy every copy. You have my word.
You heard it here, Craig. You got to print 10,000. Make him pay.
I'll do an audio commentary for it.
He's gonna do Foley work. And this guy's going. All right, so that's the first release. The second one is right here. This is Norbert Pfaffenbichler's 2551 trilogy. These are from 2021, 2023, and 2025, and these are wild. This paragraph here is probably the best way to write this out, and so I normally probably wouldn't read this entire thing, but it's kind of necessary because I think Dennis wrote this, and he is a mad genius for some of this copy, and a lot of it he's got like memorized. But he says, imagine Mad Max run amok in the Mutter Museum, a nightmarish subterranean world of superstition, magic, and deformity, ruled by fear and oppression, and peopled with a spine-chilling assortment of mutants and masked monstrosities, including faceless stormtroopers, parasites, nude figures, taxidermied monkeys, alchemists, and other occult horrors. Welcome to the unearthly visions of Austrian artist and director Norbert Pfaffenbichler's 2551 trilogy, a staggering combination of avant-garde cinema, post-apocalyptic sci-fi, horror, monster action, dystopian political nightmare, silent cinema techniques. All 3 of these movies are told without dialogue with very different color tinting. Endless subterranean labyrinths shot in abandoned World War II bunkers in Vienna, myriad grotesque masks, industrial and death metal music, the brothers Quay, and Jan Svankmajer and Joel Peter Witkin and David Lynch all mixed together. Definitely not for the faint of heart. This is experimental filmmaking for fans of Silent Hill, Hellboy 2, Eraserhead, Mad God, and Begotten, The Cure, and Bauhaus, and Metallica, Lucha Libre, and unbelievably, Charlie Chaplin. In other words, it's like nothing you've ever seen or dreamt of before.
Sounds like a night in Florida. This sounds great. Never heard of any of this shit, but it actually sounds really fucking sick.
Gary is saying, not that it matters much, but does it actually have a narrative, or is it just a bunch of weird stuff? It genuinely does have a narrative, actually.
I like that less.
Well, it is a narrative told through very experimental filmmaking. And it's
I'm in then.
Very good. Very good. The art on this is remarkable.
Gorgeous.
Per usual. Deaf Crocodile always has some of the best art. Here's the standard art on this one. Now, for the extras on this is a 4-disc set for 3 films. They had to really start to take a look at what they could even accept for this release because the discs were getting so damn full. This is a wonderful, wonderful release. And if you're even remotely skeptical, that's not a word, skeptical about buying this, I would watch the trailer that they've released for this because it is quite good. So on this, we've got 7 experimental short films by the director. We've got 4 new video interviews. We've got, let's see, new interview with Pfaffenbichler discussing his avant-garde films. We've got a new visual essay by me and Dr. Will Dodson on the first film, 2551.01.
Nice.
It's really fun. We talk about the Charlie Chaplin influences quite a bit. There is a visual essay by Stephen Broomer, who is the experimental filmmaker out of Canada that works on Black Zero, the experimental film label. He's like the voice to talk about these films, so I'm so glad that he's involved in this. We've got new commentaries by Sheila Rowan Legg, by Eva Letourneau, I believe, Ann Golden, and then Mike White from the Projection Booth podcast. There's a featurette on Jam the Dam behind the scenes of 2551.03. There's some BTS like visual effects reels. There's deleted scenes, soundtrack scores, 3 new trailers, all kinds of stuff. I probably even missed one putting it on here. In fact, I think there's another visual essay from another filmmaker that I don't see listed. So yeah, I probably just did not have enough space and I skipped it. Sorry, Craig. Let's see. Dingo Boy says 2551 trilogy is not a rom-com. Well, I mean, in a couple scenes, it gets. Never mind. I've said too much. Yeah, this is a crazy month for Deaf Crocodile. Highly recommend checking both of these out. The big thing, Craig is reminding me to bring up that the painting, the original painting for this box art, is going to be on sale on the Deaf Crocodile website next Friday. It's pricey because J.G. Jones is an acclaimed comic book artist, but he usually charges $5,000+ for the painting, and it's a pretty big painting too. He's charging about half price, so this will be $2,551 on the Deaf Crocodile website. Nice little tongue-in-cheek total there, and I love it. We're going to be talking about that next week because it'll go up on sale. But if you're super into original art and you love this stuff, this will be on the Deaf Crocodile website to purchase next Friday for one lucky individual. It's the original painting itself, signed by J.G. Jones, and that's a
Gorgeous.
big deal. Yeah. Have you checked anything out from Deaf Crocodile? Probably not yet.
Nope. I didn't mean for that to sound so dismissive. It's just usually they put out stuff I've never even heard of.
And you're in the UK. It's
and
pricier.
I'm in the UK, which is a bigger problem. But this is probably the thing that they've put out that I'm the most interested in. Also, there was like something they put out a while ago, and I keep meaning to like circle back to it, and I can't remember what it is, but I feel like it was like an Irish folk horror.
The Outcasts, probably.
That's it. Yes, it was that. Which I've been
Beautiful
meaning to
movie.
get to as well. Yeah.
And we'll talk about that after. I'll tell you about The Outcast. It's a great one, and I think everybody should see it. It's so good. Hey, I mentioned that I saw him this weekend. I did not like it, but if you're into it, there's a 4K Steelbook up that you can pre-order now. It'll also get a standard 4K, a Blu-ray, and a DVD. Those are all coming from Universal. We don't have a release date yet, but here it is. Did this interest you at all? Did you see the trailer, or did you see it?
I saw the trailer, and I was like, okay. I think this movie has really highlighted that people don't know generally the distinction between a producer and a director.
Or that the studio itself is trying to con people into it, though, too.
Yeah, I saw like so many people going like, what is Jordan Peele doing? Like, blah, blah, blah. Jordan Peele fell off. And I'm like, Jordan Peele didn't make this movie.
But he is
Like-
everywhere in the marketing, that's for sure.
I will say, though, it must suck to be Jordan Peele because he wanted to get weapons and he couldn't get it, and he ended up getting this instead, which might be the worst trade in history for releases.
It's a pretty bad trade, I gotta be honest.
Wow.
All right, so that is him. Next up, over in the UK again, Screenbound Pictures on November 17th, releasing a 4K of Renaissance from 2006. This is a movie that I had somehow never heard of. Stars quite a bit younger Daniel Craig.
Never heard of it either.
Yeah, limited to 1,000 copies. Got a double-sided poster, some behind the scenes, B-roll, featurettes, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know anything about this movie, and you were supposed to be the expert here. Krit, what happened?
I don't like UK movies. That's no, I do. I've literally never even heard of it. I don't know what this is.
KB is asking, what's an O card? That is the fancy way of saying slipcover, just to make everybody that only collects slipcovers go, ooh, I need one of those.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Hey, another 4K release coming from Screenbound on November 3rd is Boston Kickout from 2000. Yet another one that I have not seen. We got multiple commentaries on this one with a brand new one with Mark Warren. Some deleted scenes, making of storyboards, all that interesting stuff. This starring a very young Andrew Lincoln. So Krit is very excited about another British.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is either. I didn't even know Andrew Lincoln was British until I was like 17. So
that was like 9 months ago.
I'm an old man now, Ryan. Yeah, I watched Love Actually when I was like 17, 18, and I was like, the guy from The Walking Dead's English? That's so fucking weird. But yeah, I've never heard of this. I'm sure it's okay.
I love that everybody in my generation was like, whoa, the guy from Love Actually is doing horror? How the turntables. Let's keep going. Well Go USA on November 11th is releasing a Blu-ray of the brand new Scott Adkins film, which is supposedly pretty great, called Prisoner of War from this year. Are you a Scott Adkins guy?
I'm not a massive Scott Adkins guy, but what I have seen, I have generally liked. Just none of it has like stood out as like amazing. It's all just kind of stood out as pretty good.
You don't historically talk a lot about martial arts, so that's yeah, I was curious about that.
Actually, I am a big martial arts movie guy.
Not a ton of the visual essays as well.
Oh yeah, no, because there's. I'm gonna get killed for this, but generally, there's not a lot of interesting things to say.
Yeah,
like Bruce Lee movies. I love Bruce Lee movies and all Jackie Chan movies, Michelle Yeoh, and I love like the whole wuxia subgenre and stuff. But like, there's not a lot to say about most of them. What you can say about like 5 minutes of that movie can apply to the entire movie. So it's hard to talk about them. But I did talk about Enter the Dragon in my top 100 video, which is no longer in my top 100 anyway, but still. Way of the Dragon is, though, so there's still a Bruce Lee movie in there.
Good movies.
Yeah.
Next, we got a batch of announcements that lit the internet on fire.
Sorry. It's like so early, I've not figured out the filter thing yet. You know?
It's so funny, though. Oh, man. You're like somebody in Kent without their chips. Inside joke. That was terrible. Sandpiper Pictures putting out re-releases of a bunch of stuff released by other labels previously with no changes, exact same discs with new cover art. I'm glad they're going to be in print, but don't get very excited about these releases. They're not going to be high quality or anything like that.
Don't worry. I'm not jumping out my seat for Mannequin on Blu-ray. Don't worry.
But a lot of people are. Genuinely, a lot of people were very excited about this. To be fair, you did just stand up out of your seat, so I don't know what that means. Mannequin from 87 is the first one getting a release. All of these are coming on December 2nd, by the way. Next title is Zapped, that has not aged nearly as well as Scott Baio, which he aged terribly. So yeah, that tells you a lot.
Couldn't have got different cover art.
No, they chose this actively to sell it. I guarantee it. Yeah, this is not a great movie. Next up, Dirty Work. Even though Vinegar Syndrome put out the literal definition of the best that you could possibly release for Dirty Work this year, they said, you know what? Let's release the theatrical cut on Blu-ray again.
This is the one I'm getting.
Oh, Krit.
Fuck. What is this?
Yeah, then they're putting out Stagecoach. No, not that Stagecoach. The other one. Oh, also not that Stagecoach. No, this is the one from 1986. The third of the Stagecoach films.
Oh,
and
Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, it's a wonderful cast. You got Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings. Yeah. Check it out. All coming on December 2nd, like I said. They're also putting out Stephen King, Sometimes They Come Back from 1991 on Blu-ray yet again. And then Undercover Blues from 1993. One with Kathleen Turner, Dennis Quaid. But the big one, I have not seen one of my posts on Facebook pop off like this one has popped off in a long time. They are putting out Robert Townsend's The Meteor Man from 1993. The highlight quote of the black superhero craze of the Kazam and Steel days. You get The Meteor Man. This is a big deal for some people. To be fair, this has been going for over $100 on eBay. To be able to get this on Blu-ray for retail price is a wonderful thing. I'm glad this is coming out. I just wish they had a better release of this coming.
Yeah. I don't know what is Media Man. I don't care.
All right. I am done with Sandpiper. These are not great.
Woo! Sandpiper.
88 Films has delayed, surprise, their Heart of Dragon 4K release in the UK from September 29th to October 27th, as they usually do. 88 Films is rarely on time, but hey, they've been doing good stuff this year, so can't really complain too much.
Yeah, I just picked up Hackers. I can't complain.
True. But things we can complain about that are happening over in the UK. November 10th, they are releasing, not they 88 Films, they Studio Canal, releasing a 4K, a Blu-ray, and DVD release of the New Avengers Series 1 and 2 from 1976 and 77. To be fair, the art on these look wonderful because they're done by the amazing Sam Smith. But these are obnoxiously overpriced. For a 4K release of this, you can see this. It is 10 discs. Did you see how much this is going for on Amazon UK? You should go look that up right now, Krit, and tell me if you would pay that much for the New Avengers Series 1 and 2 on 4K.
4K? £150. Great British pounds.
150 GBP is what this is going for. That is a lot of money.
That is not okay. It's just not okay. What are you talking about? Not to mention, by the way, it's not even comic accurate. Look at it.
That took me a second. Oh, that was pretty funny. Yeah, so this is a lot, and they do have extras on literally everything. I'm glad that these are going to be loaded releases, and I think Imprint likely will be doing something with this. It won't be much cheaper because it's Imprint, sadly. But that being said, this is very pricey for a set like this, and I fear that Studio Canal is going to lose a lot of money on this one. God, that's 306 Australian dollars.
Yeah. Again, it's made up, so it doesn't really count. Like, they just make up a number for anything.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, this is a big deal. Studio Canal, like the set looks wonderful. It doesn't look 150 pounds wonderful.
No.
All right. Hey, on November 17th in the UK, November 18th in the US, we are getting a 4K of Out of Africa from 1985. Rest in peace to Robert Redford. Is this one that you've seen before, Krit?
No. It troubles me. I have no idea what this is. I've never seen it, but the title and the 2 stars is freaking me out a little. So I'm gonna withhold judgment until I find out what the fuck this is about.
I'd normally ask you to expand on that, but instead I will read you the synopsis. This
you.
exquisite, intelligent romantic drama based on the life of Karen Blixen, Blixen, was the most highly acclaimed film of its time. Directed by Sidney Pollack, the film brilliantly captures time and place with superb performances by Meryl Streep, Robert Redford, and Brandauer. Sumptuous photography and a rich musical score. Out of Africa follows the true life story of Karen Blixen, an amazingly strong-willed woman who moves from Denmark to run a coffee plantation with her philandering husband in Kenya around 1914. To her astonishment, she soon discovers herself falling in love with the land, its people, and a mysterious adventurer and idealist. Does that help you feel better about it?
A little bit. Sure, why not? Fuck it. Yeah, interesting, I guess.
You get a commentary by Sidney Pollack on it, and there's a making of documentary, some deleted scenes in the trailer. Big time score on this one. John Barry, well known for this, and yeah, it's a huge cast, big director, good movie.
Cool.
Here we go. Next up, Kino putting out the Gracie Allen murder case from 1939. This is going to have a new audio commentary by Bernie Prokop and some subtitles, and that is it. Yeah, know nothing about this one. Carrying right along. Eden from this year is getting a Blu-ray release in the U.S. on November 11th from Vertical Entertainment. No extras as far as I can tell. Did you get to see Eden yet?
I did get to see Eden.
And how did you feel about it?
Yeah, it's all right. It's cool. Like it's got good performances. It's got an interesting backstory. It made me want to know about these actual people. Yep. But then I kind of forgot everything that happened after a week. So
I will say I went into this expecting to hate it, and I was pleasantly surprised. Like, if you look at it, I've been calling it a camp soap opera film. On that level, it is quite enjoyable. It's full of drama. It's full of Ana de Armas screaming. It's full of melodramatic acting. It's not a bad story, and it's inspired by a shockingly true story. If you get out like me and you're like, oh, I want to find out what actually happened, and you go, oh no, they pretty much just told the actual story. Oh my God, I'm horrified. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy one.
Yeah, I wanted to see how accurate it was. So I was like, oh, is there like a YouTube video about this? And the only one I could find was like 2.5 hours. So I was like, I don't care enough. The movie's fun enough, I guess.
It was almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I'll take its word for
it. Speaking of Sydney Sweeney in the Eden, December 1st, the UK is getting a Blu-ray of The Sweeney Series 3.
I didn't know she was that old. Media.
Yeah, 1976. Shocking. Wow. Quite immaculate looking. Reference to her filmography. We've got restoration behind the scenes that you can check out on YouTube that I linked here. Watch this for a few minutes. Pretty interesting, actually. The Sweeney supposedly looks really great on Blu-ray. If you're into it, check it out. Now, this has been a really funny post to see people respond to this week.
Finally, some good
Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is getting another Blu-ray release from Warner Brothers on October 28th. It got one last year, but it was packaged with the sequel. And everybody seemingly said, I don't want that shit in my house. The sequel's garbage. I'm not buying
Zombie Island sucks.
And now they're putting this out, and it's got the brand new Terror Time edition. It's going to have a O-card slipcover. That is a reference for KB there. It is an O-card. It's going to have a clear Blu-ray case for everybody that loves the clear ones. It's going to have interior artwork. It's going to have a chapter list inside. They're listing those as special features, so it's really funny. There's an audio commentary by Scooby historian Matt Dugan.
Fucking so sick. He sounds like a Scooby-Doo historian, doesn't he?
Matt Dugan. 12-page collectible booklet with images and essay written by Matt Dugan, of course. And it's got this limited packaging. And then I laughed so hard. They're listing as a special feature, It's Terror Time Again, plays on the disc menu.
I mean, is it not special? Is it not a feature?
That being said, this thing popped off when I posted this. Oh my God, people shared this like crazy. Lots of people are buying this on Amazon. You can check it out. What's funny is this cost more than the one that came with the sequel, and people are buying this in droves. So check out Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island if you've never seen it. It's amazing. It's traumatize your kids with it. It's very good.
I get it. I will pay more to not have the sequel.
I got that exact comment, I think, 91 times.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of UK stuff tonight for you. November 10th, there is a Blu-ray from Kaleidoscope Entertainment in the UK coming of Irvine Welsh, Reality is Not Enough from 2025. Do you know anything about this person? Because when I saw this picture, I thought that was Tobin Bell.
I have no idea who that man is.
So Irvine Welsh is at a crossroads after experiencing the huge success of several film adaptations and 6 million books sold worldwide. He must be an author. He has become acutely aware of his own mortality. Now, at this hedonistic day is drawing to a close, the outspoken author decides to explore the boundaries of consciousness through a psychedelic DMT trip. So basically, let's watch this guy get super high and talk about it.
I think it's funny because he's old. I think it works better because he's old.
He's the Train Spotting author. Hello. Oh,
Never
he also
read it.
wrote Filth as well.
Never read it. I watched the adaptation of Filth, though.
That checks out. Next up, October 28th, we get a Blu-ray coming in the U.S. from Music Box, A Familiar Touch from last year. That I had some people that I know that saw this and said it was quite good. This is going to have a roundtable cast conversation presented by Caring Across Generations. There's a creative process featurette, a conversation with Sarah Friedland, Q&A with Kathleen Chalfant from Jacob Burns Film Center. There's behind the scenes, image gallery, all that stuff. This one will not be released through OCN. Music Box just releasing this outside of that model. Yeah, Familiar Touch. Check it out. Are you an anime person, Krit?
No, not at all, really.
I have never even heard of this one.
I prefer to shower. Sorry, that was mean. I take that back.
6 people in the chat are commenting. December 9th, Sentai Filmworks is releasing Azumanga Daioh Complete Collection. I probably said that incorrectly. This will have English and Japanese language versions with English subtitles. And there's going to be a couple extras because they're doing the clean opening animation and clean closing animation and some production sketches.
Cool.
Sure. Next up, The Barbarians getting an identical release from Kino Lorber that they just put out a couple years ago. I say a couple. It's been since December 1st of 2020. But this is coming out on November 25th. It'll have a slipcover. I think that's new. But other than that, good movie. You should check it out. Like, this one is actually very, very fun.
Okay. I'm in. Sure.
It stars the Barbarian brothers and Michael Berryman from the original Hills Have Eyes.
I see that. That's what sold me.
More British isms tonight. December 9th, there is a Blu-ray coming here in the U.S. from Magnolia of Rabbit Trap from this year. Being British, have you seen Rabbit Trap yet?
Never even heard of it.
So Rabbit Trap is a film starring Dev Patel, who is a musician with his, I believe it's, it is his wife. They're brand newly married and they're out in the middle of nowhere, maybe near Kent without their chips. And they're making music in this random ass British cottage. It's the 1970s, I think, is what they say in the film. And it's basically like an experimental horror film of them kind of losing it. There's a young person that shows up at their door. Weird things start to happen. There's a couple weird scenes of like people bleeding yellow, like bright yellow, like almost gold blood. It's an interesting movie. I don't think it worked for me, but I'm not upset having seen it. I'm also stoked to have been able to see this in a theater. I will say though, because this is based around music and like walking through the English countryside, the sound in this is superb. If you do get a chance, watch this very loud. The sound design on this is amazing. And Dev Patel, he's kind of incredible in everything.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Yeah, this didn't get a theatrical release near me.
That's too bad. Maybe eventually. This looks truly awful. You can buy this now on Blu-ray. It's a BDR, unfortunately, or fortunately, of Mutilator 2 from 2023. This is a quasi-sequel to the original one, and it's supposedly just one of the worst absolute dog water films of all time. If this cover art doesn't convince you, this is the actual back of the Blu-ray.
Well, now I must own it.
They're charging like $25 for this.
I love the screenshot of the copyright down there. Mutilator 2. That's so funny. That's like That's like one of the screenshots I put into like a video. That's awful.
Oh, that's really funny. Yep. Yeah, this is. Paul says, "Imagine Imprint doing a Mutilator 2 Bespoke set." Oh, geez, yeah, this is not a good looking set. I see what Silent Mandible's saying. Why the small lady grab onto big hair? It looks like she's hugging a microscopic strand of
A little
hair.
follicle. I love just the
Oh,
awful
gosh.
like keying out. Like it's not even been done all the way. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
It's not great looking. I didn't know Pizzal had a cameo, Reggie. That's interesting. So yeah, Mutilator 2. Check it out if you're into some sadism or masochism, not sadism, masochism. Speaking of bespoke sets from Imprints, December 10th, they are releasing a giant set for Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2. Again, they're using the words, this is a heavy bespoke collector's item. 24 by 32 centimeters, weighs in at 1.5 kilograms, including a full color matte laminated 27 by 40 folded reprint of both theatrical one sheets and the theatrical posters for both films. That's a lot. A large format color photo booklet featuring original production stills, 6 large format lobby cards with original production stills, 2 hard cases housing all 4 of the discs, and 0 new extras. Nothing whatsoever that's new.
For Silent Mandible, that's about 10 bananas.
And we were talking earlier about price. Obviously, the Silent Night Deadly Night is very expensive at 220. I don't even remember the currency we made up, but dollaroos. The Kill Bill 200 Australian dollaroos, and that's still a lot.
It's too much.
It is too much. Yes, absolutely.
It's far too much. There is, I promise you, there is not a single release of any movie that you could ever possibly put out that would make me pay that much.
So here's the thing, like this has never had a 4K release in Australia, so I'm glad it's coming out. However, it is cheaper to literally import the US 4Ks than to buy this set.
It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, it's so silly.
Yeah. Lots of questions, of course, about why isn't this the Whole Bloody Affair? Why isn't this the Japanese cut of Kill Bill Volume 1? Just so everybody's aware, if you're listening to this, watching this later, Quentin Tarantino has stated, until he gets the rights back, that will never be released. He wants it to be an event thing at his theater, and the rights do not go back to him until the year 2053. We will not be getting an actual, legitimate home video release of the Whole Bloody Affair from both Kill Bill films until at least 2053.
Good.
Yeah. Here we go. More Britishisms. Good Lord. November 25th, we're getting a 4K box set from Kino Lorber of the Alec Guinness Masterpiece Collection. This has Kind Hearts and Coronets, The Lavender Hill Mob, The Man in the White Suit, and The Lady Killers. 4 Stone Cold classics. Specifically, The Lady Killers is genuinely a masterpiece. Glad these are all coming out in a full release. All of these have extras. All of these have great looking releases. These do have Dolby Vision and HDR. Both cases on these are going to have 2 discs each. Looks like an absolutely wonderful set. Yeah. Any thoughts on the set or Alec?
It's missing A New Hope. But I have seen The Lady Killers. And yeah, it's a great movie. Alec Guinness is brilliant. It's a shame that his memory is one of just the Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
You know, that stinks. It's kind of like, you know, when any Harry Potter actor dies, it's just like, oh yeah, Harry Potter actor Maggie Smith.
Right.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
She's only ever made 8 movies.
Yeah. It's so stupid. And yeah, it's a shame. So I'm glad this is doing a little bit to like kind of rebut that.
Yes, and only one of these had a 4K release in the US before, so this is a really good chance to pick up all of these actually. Umbrella,
Oh,
they announced a lot of stuff. So January 14th are the release dates for these. The first one we have is the Tox Box. This includes the Toxic Avenger from 84, Toxic Avenger Part 2, the Toxic Avenger Part 3, Citizen Toxie, the Toxic Avenger Part 4, and the Toxic Avenger from 2023. We've got a 48-page booklet of behind-the-scenes material and new essays by Jack Sargent and David Michael Brown, 8 art cards, 3 reversible posters. It is a limited edition numbered release if you get the big box. The first 4 films don't have any new extras. The brand new movie in this one has new commentary with Macon Blair, new interview with Macon Blair. You got the unrated and radioactive Comic-Con International featurette, behind-the-scenes extended Toxic Environment featurette, Meet the Cast featurette, Toxic Crusaders featurette, and a brand new trailer. And that is it. Yes, our special feature that we did for the new Toxic Avenger is not on this one yet, but I am talking to Umbrella and trying to get it in there. So we shall see. Toxic Shock might be a part of it eventually. Still working on it. Toxic Avenger, are you a Toxie guy at all?
I am not. I'm excited for the new one. It was in my theaters, I believe, but it was like for like 2 days, so I didn't even know until it was like too late. But I want to be. I've seen the source material, but I've never actually seen the old movies. So
it's pretty fun. Very non-PC, but in a campy, fun way for sure.
Yeah, I'm done.
So check that out. January 14th. We're already getting 2026 announcements. Holy shit. January 14th, they're also doing the Infernal Affairs trilogy on 4K. This is a big title for them. I'm glad they're putting this out. This is going to be a solid release. This will have a 48-page book of behind-the-scenes material with new essays by Andrew Heskins, Jonathan Clements, and Grady Hendrix. Grady, of course, one of the authors behind These Fists Break Bricks. We've got a custom illustrated rigid case and disc wallet, 8 art cards, 2 reversible posters, and it's a limited edition numbered release. We've got a new commentary with Pierce Conran and James Marsh on the first film and the second film and the third film. New interview with Andy Lau and Alan Mack on the second film and the third film. We've got a couple other things like James Belmont on the many double identities of the Infernal Affairs trilogy. These are classic, amazing movies. These are the movies that Tarantino stole from to make The Departed, and it shows. They are quite similar. Yeah. Did I not say Tarantino?
Tarantino didn't make The Departed.
Whoops.
Are you okay? That's Scorsese. Are you okay?
Yep. I literally was wearing a Scorsese shirt earlier.
You said it so confidently that I started to question whether I knew what I knew.
My bad. Yeah, that's, it's what inspired Scorsese. Wow. Yeah, I was thinking about Tarantino still because we just talked about him. My bad. Yeah, clearly Scorsese. Whoops. Yeah, but these are very, very good movies. If you've never seen them, they're absolutely worth it. My brain broke.
It's all good. I mean, I can see where it comes from because Tarantino basically steals for all of his movies.
Everything, yeah.
So, you know.
It's literally just because we were just talking about him. Next, I mentioned Kiwi Cult earlier. This is the Volume 2 coming out. We got The Scarecrow from 1982. We've got Jack Be Nimble from 1993. And we've got Crooked Earth from 2001. 3 films that I've not seen, although Jack Be Nimble I did see. I think it was Altered Innocence released that a couple years ago. I think it was them that put it out. I love the art style on these sets, and again, 3 films that like hardly anybody has seen whatsoever. We got new extras on all of them, 48-page booklet with new essays behind the scenes. These are really cool looking sets. Check it out. Cashback from 2006, another one coming from Umbrella. This is also coming on January 14th. This one only Blu-ray. Have you seen this one? I don't think I'd ever even heard of this one.
No, I've never heard of this. It looks dope though. I really like the artwork.
Yeah, some interesting art on this one. This is from Sam Ellis, who also did The Cut. This follows art student Ben Willis, who finds himself unable to sleep after a painful breakup. To pass the long nights, he takes a late shift at the local supermarket where time seems to stretch endlessly. Amid fluorescent aisles and eccentric coworkers, Ben discovers an unusual way of coping with insomnia by letting his imagination transform the ordinary into something extraordinary. This is going to be a collector set with 8 art cards, reversible poster, all that same stuff, 48-page book. with behind the scenes new essays by Alexander Heller Nicholas and David Michael Brown. New audio commentary with The Wives Colangelo. New audio guide, cashback-inspired short film by Chris Elena. Chris Elena speaks on the movie, and then we've got some archival extras. I want to see this. I would really like to see if this is
looks
good.
really cool. I like the concept too. I'm in.
Reservoir says, middle school me loved this movie because of a certain time stop scene. Let's see. Mozart said, I remember this, had a really popular song. Cashback is pretty great. The lead actress has so much charisma in this movie. Nice. Cashback sounds good. It's about a guy who can freeze time, and as I recall, use that to disrobe women. Hence the cover of the Blu-ray then.
I see.
That makes a lot of sense.
There's a whole porn genre about that now. That's crazy.
Krit has officially purchased the Blu-ray while we were talking.
Yep.
Next up, January 14th, we're getting a Blu-ray release of Tourist Trap. Yes, Tourist Trap, the full moon film from 1979, getting yet another release. This will have the unrated cut and the alternate cut. Unfortunately, this will likely be the same presentation as done by Full Moon, which means it probably won't look all that amazing. It's just sort of what they can license right now. That being said, I'm not a huge Full Moon guy. I think this is the best title associated with Full Moon. I adore this movie. Chuck Connors is creepy as shit in this movie. 48-page book of behind the scenes and new essays by Justin Beam and Nat Bramer. You've got the big collector's box on the outside. You've got 8 art cards, reversible poster, new commentary by Nat Bramer, new interview with the actor Jocelyn Jones, new interview with the actor Jerry Van Ness. New last scenes from script to screen. Jarrett Gahan speaks on Tourist Trap, and then some archival extras. I love this movie. If you've never seen it, highly recommend checking it out. Have you seen Tourist Trap ever?
I have not, but it looks really fucking sick. I really like the artwork for this.
Yeah, it's a fun art style. They're doing this for all of their Full Moon type of films, so it's nice to see it continue, even though it's not part of one of their Full Moon box sets.
You know, I'm like off work all next week, and I was going to use that to catch up on a lot of movies. I've added Tourist Trap and Cashback to like my little list.
Nice, very nice. Then January 14th, they're also releasing a Blu-ray of Wasabi from 2001. I remember this movie being terrible, but it's been a long time. This says, when a hard-hitting French detective played by Jean Reno is dropped into Tokyo for the funeral of his long-lost love, he brings fists, attitude, and zero patience. But in a city where nothing is what it seems, he'll need more than brute force to uncover the truth. You got a 48-page book on this with new essays by Adrian Smith and Kieran Fisher. You got a hard box on the outside, new audio commentary by Camille Zorin, and then a new on Japan Through Wasabi by Martin Conterio, plus a bunch of archival extras. It's been a long time since I've seen Wasabi. Any thoughts in the chat? This doesn't seem like one Krit has seen.
No.
I got to admit, this poster does not instill much more confidence for me.
That poster sucks.
Silent Mandible says, I love Jean Reno. I'm sad he's only in like 2 good movies that I've seen. Reservoir says, I miss Jean Reno. Yeah. I take my fist everywhere. That's a good comment. Yeah, Wasabi. Check it out if that's something you're into. And if you already have the 4K box set of the Toxic Avenger films that was released in the US by Troma, you can just buy the new one from Umbrella as the collector's edition with all their exclusive extras and all that stuff. Good looking art on this. It's not fancy or huge or anything like that. It's much cheaper than that giant box. And also, if you've already got the Troma release of the 4K box set, it's not worth it to rebuy it because they're all the same disc. So you may as well just buy this one to complement it. And
yeah, that's nice.
Works nice. Eureka over in the UK once again has posted their announcements, and we've got on December 8th we've got a Blu-ray coming of Apache from 1954 starring Burt Lancaster. This is part of their Masters of Cinema line. This one is going to have a slipcover on it, and you've got Western scholar Jenny Barrett and the film writer Richard Combs speaks on this. In the booklet, you've got a new interview with Austin Fisher, the author of Radical Frontiers and the Spaghetti Western. New interview with film historian Sheldon Hull on Robert Aldrich and the Western genre. And yeah, Apache. I've never seen this one. Not really my style. You and I have never talked much about Westerns. Are you into this style?
Not really. I'm not a big Western guy. But also I've not seen many Westerns. I've seen like the spaghetti Westerns and
Yeah.
a couple modern Westerns, but like, yeah, not really. I have seen Apache though.
Oh, interesting. What do you think of it?
My dad showed me it when I was like, I don't know, 10, 11, something like that.
Remember it much since that was only like 4 years ago?
I don't remember fucking anything about it. I do know that Charles Bronson's in it though, from like The Great Escape and stuff, but that's pretty much all I know.
All right, not too bad then. Then they're also putting out a triple feature of Sammo Hung films. This is coming on December 8th in the UK, December 9th in the North America. We've got in here 3 films from 74, 88, and 90, and they are The Manchu Boxer to Paper Marriage. Which one is it? The Manchu Boxer to Stardom. That's not the title. The Manchu Boxer, Paper Marriage, and Shanghai Shanghai. Those are
There
the
we
3
go.
films. Could not read what I typed early this morning. We've got on this a slipcover with new artwork by Sam Gilby, new writing on Sammo Hung that is in the booklet. You've got an exclusive disc to this release, which has the what are they calling it here? Oh, where did it go? Bonus disc exclusive to this set only. Presentations from brand new 2K restorations of the extended international versions of Manchu Boxer and Shanghai Shanghai. So if you want those international versions, you got to buy the limited release. Otherwise, you're only going to get that first disc in the standard version eventually. We got a new commentary with Frank Jang and Michael Worth on the Manchu Boxer. New commentary on Paper Marriage with Arna Venema and Damini Ting. New commentary on Shanghai Shanghai with Frank Jang and FJ DeSanto. And then a new interview with Alfred Chung. And this looks like a solid release. Although I've heard the movies aren't too great. Have you seen any of these ones?
No. I've heard of Shanghai Shanghai, but I've not seen any of them.
All right. What about Sammo Hung? I know you talk about martial arts. Are you into Sammo Hung much?
Not really.
No?
A bit underexposed. I can't like comment too much either way.
I totally get that. I've liked what I've seen him in. I think he's fun. He's a decent fight choreographer.
Yeah.
Kino Lorber launched their fall sale just today. 750 titles on sale. Sale goes through October 20th, and there is free shipping if you get at least $60 or more. And this feels like a long time coming. I feel like the last Kino sale was, something like May or June, and that feels like a very long time in between stuff for them. Not some of the titles that I was expecting to see in the sale, but still plenty to choose from. Lots of great titles. My big reminder is when you go to this and you see either a couple things that you're into, or maybe you're under the free shipping threshold, don't forget it's not just the sale. They've got their While Supplies Last section where stuff is going out of print, and all of that stuff is on sale too. You can get stuff like if you're, $4 under the free shipping threshold, there's movies going out of print, and you're probably going to find one that's only like $7, and that'll get you right over that threshold.
This graphic is hilarious.
It's a weird one to make the cornerstone of your sale.
Sure. I don't know why the 25 is underneath. Why wouldn't you just make? I guess if the whole text spread across the whole image, it would work, but it doesn't.
It's to frame it, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. It's a weird graphic anyway.
Yeah, it's not perfect. Anaconda from 1997 is getting a 4K steelbook by Sony themselves, which means it will look very good. This will also probably be pretty expensive. It is going to have deleted and extended scenes for the first time ever. There's going to be an interview with the director on here, interview with the co-writer, Hans Bauer. Now, the big thing, how do you feel about the cover of the steelbook?
I don't feel anything.
A lot of people seemed quite happy with it. A lot of people also seemed quite sad or upset about it. My big thing is snakes don't have eyelids. That is not the eye of a snake on the cover of this.
Interesting. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Looks like a gecko or something.
Yes, I believe it is a gecko. That is not at all an anaconda, let alone any snake, I don't think. um, this is a very weird choice to make the cover of a steelbook for anaconda.
Also, like, they have tons of artwork already present for this movie.
Yes,
They could have just used any of it.
you could have just used the original poster and we
Yep.
all would have been very happy.
Yeah, nobody would have been upset.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single fan of Anaconda thinking, "Where's the original designs? I need
Right.
designs." Like, you're a fan of Anaconda, which means that you don't care too much about
Right.
about how shit looks.
It does look like a crocodile eye a bit. And yeah, Silent Mandible's right. He says the snake in the movie did have a weird design, but I mean, come on. At least use a snake eye on the cover. Hey, in the newest British news, over in the UK, Paramount is releasing on December 2nd a big collector's edition of The Warriors from 1979. Yes, they let Arrow release The Warriors on 4K in the US, but they said, no, screw you. We're doing it ourselves in the UK. And you can buy this set and get a rigid slipcase. You can get a capacity wallet. I don't know what that means. You can get a photo book, 6 art cards, 2 posters, 2 sticker sheets, and a collectible sign. Because everybody that is after the Warriors wants a collectible sign, right?
Obviously.
So my look at the back of this to get the specs, it looks like the 4K is the theatrical version and the Blu-ray is the awful director's cut that nobody likes, which isn't even the director's cut. The studio meddled with it. But that to say, it's if you like the Warriors and you don't have the Arrow release, this is a perfectly fine companion, it looks like. How do you feel about the Warriors?
Never seen it. I don't watch it on principle. Because everyone I've ever met has been the most annoying person in the world when you tell them you haven't seen the Warriors. So I just refuse to watch it because I don't want to be one of those people.
That is maybe the most hipster thing I've ever heard you say.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty hipster.
Maybe I'll get to it one day and just keep pretending like I haven't seen it. But
can I just say it would be hilarious if you held on for that long, watched it, and you're like, "Shit, this movie's perfect."
I know. I'll turn into one of those people.
What
What kind of a film person am I? I'm a Denzel kind of person.
question.
If it's not Denzel, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I'm trying to find an answer real quick on something. 1 second. There is a brand new book that just came out. There it is. It's called Armies of the Night, The Warriors and Its Legacy by Michael Gingold and Chris Paggiali. Everybody should check that out. It looks like a really solid book and would be a nice companion piece with this if you have not checked it out. You know what? I'm going to share that link in case anybody is into it because it still has the hardcover version available on Amazon. Next up is another UK thing. November 21st. There is a 4K release, a Blu-ray and 2 CD release, and a vinyl release coming of Def Leppard, Diamond Star Heroes, live from Sheffield from 2023.
Oh, yay.
You're a giant Def Leppard fan, huh?
Yeah, man. Fucking and Sheffield, I guess.
How far from Kent is that?
Quite far.
It's too bad.
Yeah. Well, I say quite far. Probably like in American measurements, it really isn't that far. It's like I would say it's like 4 or 5 hours away. Which, yeah, to an American, it's like, oh, that's like
That's
how
like
far
popping
I
over
go
to a
to get
friend's house.
groceries. But yeah, that's like pretty much half the country away.
So the 4K for this, it does have a live performance. You got 17 tracks on here. If you're into Def Leppard, this is their first 4K release, so check it out if you like Photograph. Yeah. If you don't like Def Leppard and you like the opera, Mercury Studios is putting out Pavarotti Live from 1995. This is 3 decades after this was done, and this has been being worked on for quite some time. This year would have been his 90th birthday on October 12th, and they're keeping a promise that they held to him because he came back after he made a promise to go perform here, and they've been working on this for the longest time. This is like a lost concert, and supposedly really great. This is one genuinely I would love to hear and see if possible. Yeah, Pavarotti.
I am a Pavarotti guy.
Big into opera.
Not really. I just once I bought like a whole wad of vinyl from like well, not a dead guy, but like someone who knew a dead guy, and there was like 3 Pavarotti things in there, and I put them. I really like them, so yeah.
Yep. I think that was the funniest way you could have said that. I bought them from my mate Jim. He knows this guy Tom. He's dead.
There was this dead guy that was super into Pavarotti.
Speaking of the UK again, Jesus, it's all about you tonight. Coming soon on 4K Steelbook here in the US. You can also get a Blu-ray and a DVD. Does not look like there's going to be a standard 4K. From Decal of Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. Are you a Spinal Tap fan?
Not really. I'm a big Rob Reiner fan, for sure. But Spinal Tap's not really my thing. I feel like it's definitely like a generations thing. Like what it's kind of parodying doesn't really exist anymore.
That's kind of true.
And I didn't grow up where it did exist. So it's like, yeah, it's parodying a thing that I just never saw or experienced. So like it has its moments, but like not to the point where I feel culturally attached to it.
Did you see the sequel yet?
No. I saw that you saw it though.
Yeah, I mean it's worth watching. It's not special. It's nowhere near the power of the first one, but it's got a lot of funny moments. I do like oh gosh, I'm not going to remember her name offhand. We were talking about Taskmaster before we went live. Somebody from Taskmaster is she plays a pretty big part in this. And now it's going to bug me unless I go find out her name real quick. It is
Adam's just said Kent is very right. By the way, I'm not from Kent. Just
It's really funny that keeps popping up now.
I'm very, very far from Kent. Fuck Kent.
Carrie Godleman, she is in this.
Who is that?
She is a UK comedian.
I don't even know how you spell that shit. Oh, her, that woman.
Yeah, she's on a bunch of the panel shows, just like all the other comedians.
Yeah, I never knew her name. I just like see her around. She's in like a lot of Ricky Gervais stuff, so
it's true. It's true.
Yikes.
Next up, more UK releases. December 15th, Blu-ray release from 88 Films of Don't Open Till Christmas from 1984. This, of course, will be a part of their Slasher Classics collection. Have you seen Don't Open Till Christmas?
I've not.
It's a pretty good one, actually. Vinegar Syndrome has already put out a pretty hefty release of this in the US, but if you don't have it yet, this one looks like a pretty nice release as well. You get a commentary with Troy Howarth and Eugenio Ercolani. Some interviews on here, one with Kim Newman, who's always interesting to look at and hear from. Carolyn Monroe is on this one as well, and then some trailers.
You know, I'm a big horror guy, and I don't think I've seen like any horror like Christmas movies. I've not seen like Black Christmas or anything, or the remake of it. None of them. I haven't seen any of them.
That is a lot.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is pretty weird. Very funny. Next up is Takashi Miike's film Over Your Dead Body from 2014, coming from over in the UK on December 15th. This is a part of their Japanarchy collection. Have you seen this one then?
I have, yes.
This is shockingly good and somehow like overlooked, I feel like, in his stuff because everybody always goes to the giant titles. This movie is quite well done. Hopefully you're not going to be like, yeah, I think it's shit. But
no, it's great. The thing with Miike is that like 90% of his catalog is going to be overlooked because he puts out about 50 movies a year. So it's like the main ones always get picked up, but like to go complete on Miike is such a task.
Nigh impossible.
Yeah, so like you are gonna miss a bunch of whatever he releases, no matter how much you try. But this one is so good. And this is the thing about Miike as well. Considering how much like he puts out, his batting average is incredible.
Yeah.
Like for such a prolific director, he rarely misses.
I agree.
So yeah, but yeah, this one's great.
Brendan says, I've only seen around 60 Miike films. We got a commentary with Tom Mess on this one, which should be great. Which I think that commentary was also on the Shout release of this that came out like 5 years ago, or actually it probably came out earlier than that. It might not be on there, but yeah, this is a good movie. Check it out if you've never seen it. Miike is pretty great. Noodles says, I've only seen one or two of his. What are the favorites of Miike's? Do you got any titles you want to call out for Miike?
Right. Give me a sec. I'm gonna have a quick look because I'm gonna miss something and be really upset.
I mean, the three big ones that most people are going to go to are Ichi the Killer, Audition,
and 13 Assassins is like a big one.
I would have said that's the fourth one. Visitor Q
Yeah.
is the third one I was going to say.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Audition
Graveyard
is
of Honor.
genuinely a masterpiece, though.
Graveyard of Honor is really good. There's one I'm trying to remember. Crows Zero. Yeah. It's from like 2007 or 8. It's a really, really good movie. It's one of my favorite Miike movies.
One Missed Call, classic. Definitely one that everybody needs. Happiness of the Katakuris is a must-watch for a lot of people if you're into that style. It's so good.
Rainy Dog's really good. Yeah, but someone just said they're adding Audition. Noodles. Yeah, Audition, but if you've seen like no Miike movies, Audition's like the one, I think. That or Ichi the Killer.
This is a weird call. He did a short film called Midnight that I think is on Netflix right now, if I remember right. And it came out last year. And it's like 15 minutes, I think, 15, 20 minutes. It's shockingly well made, but don't expect like a great story or anything like that. But it's really fun to watch. And if it's not on Netflix, it should be on YouTube.
Yeah, I've not seen that.
It's very I mean, it's Miike, so yeah, of course it was going to be stylish, but it's very good. The big thing with him is his stuff is gory. I mean, look at this cover. His stuff is usually gory. His practical effects are usually great. It's good stuff. Check it out. Like Ichi the Killer specifically. If you've never seen Ichi the Killer for what he does for gore in that movie, it's wild. Yeah. And then Audition is just creepy as shit.
Audition's great. I remember when we was doing. It was the last time I was on. And we was doing unconventional romance movies for Valentine's Day, and Audition was one of mine. I remember like distinct. It's one of my like favorite moments from being on here. It's like top 3 where like I remember saying Audition and then watching your face as it came out. You was not sold at all.
I was not ready for that. I love the back-to-back of these comments. Leif says, I loved his Masters of Horror episode. And then Adam says, his Masters of Horror section was horrible. Oh, man. All right. So that is Over Your Dead Body. That is coming, like I said, on December 15th in the UK. And then December 15th in the UK, December 16th in the US, 88 Films is doing Saga of the Phoenix. This is a sequel to The Peacock King, which 88 Films is also releasing only in the UK for that one. So I have a feeling somebody else has it here in the US, and that'll probably be coming out soon. This one has a commentary with Frank Jang and FJ DeSanto. We got an image gallery and then alternate Japanese footage in this one.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never seen this one or The Peacock King, actually. I've been wanting to see The Peacock King for a while.
Yeah, same. I've not seen either, but The Peacock King has been on my watch list for a while.
Let's go through pretty quickly because we don't have all the details on all of these, but Air 4444 is putting a shit ton of stuff up for pre-order tomorrow. This will be available at 1 p.m. Eastern. So you are looking at 13 and a half hours from now. These first few are going to be very specific titles, and then we got some box sets and stuff. So we got a Blu-ray coming from them of Countdown from 2012. This is a Thai thriller. You've got new artwork on this. You got a new booklet, new stickers that are coming with this, reversible artwork Blu-ray sleeve. You've got this heavy-duty slipcover. You've got some promo videos and some other like music videos and stuff like that. This thing is $36 just for this film. Then the second release is a release of Challenge of the Lady Ninja from 1983. This is one that they had announced previously that they were doing. I'm glad this is coming out finally. This is one I'm actually pretty interested in. This one is from legendary Taiwanese martial arts filmmaker Lee So Nam. This is going to have a chipboard collector's edition Blu-ray box set limited to 1,500 units with new artwork. 20-page booklet with essays by Jessica Young and Michelle Kisner. 3 new stickers, a double-sided 18 by 24 poster, reversible art, and then a new 2K restoration, new interview with the director, new intro by the director, a new trailer compilation, new audio commentary by Justin DeClue and Dylan Chung, new audio commentary by Kenneth Brorson and Paul Fox, and this will be region-free. This one is $46, so a little more pricey than that first one. And I'm certainly interested in this one for sure.
Oh, God.
Then comes the box sets. First up, we've got Art of the Devil 1 through 3. These are from 2004, 2005, and 2008. These are buried in like Thai black and white magic type of films. You've got new art on here. You've got 3 stickers, double-sided poster, reversible sleeve. This one is $100. And we don't have everything, I don't think, but we got some. So we've got new interviews with the director, new intro. Oh, I think that might be from the last release, and they copied it onto this announcement because I don't think those are supposed to be on here. This release, though, is one that I'm looking forward to. I was not going to get this one, but I actually had a meeting today with Arna Venema, and Arna told me about something that they did for this box set, and it sounds insane. So they are going to have a Siam Black Magic video that they did. There's a visual essay by Horrible Reviews. There's an archival making of and a trailer. Yeah, these extras that were listed here were from the past release, and they've now updated it, thankfully. But this release looks absolutely wild, and they're kind of underselling what they got in that Black Magic visual essay. If you do watch it, supposedly there's even a like viewer discretion is advised card that comes up just for a visual essay, which is pretty crazy. Any of these so far interesting you?
This one. Not $100 interesting, but interesting.
Yeah, this is a weird box set. But yeah, $100 for this full box set. 3 films, lots of extras, which is wild considering the previous release that we just covered is $46 for 1 film, and it's about the same number of extras. Anyways, we'll talk about money in just a minute because that's still something to discuss. Then the other thing they're doing is this box set, which is $120 of the Nami collection, which just came out recently from Third Window Films in the UK. And this has essentially all the same films with possibly some different extras. They've not even listed out all of the extras on these. But this one is $120. And it's 4 films, so it's a little bit more. You are going to get the big chipboard box set. You've got limited slipcovers that fit in the box set. You've got some art cards. You've got double-sided posters, booklet with 2 essays. But yeah, $120. And then their sub-label that we talked about last week, they are putting out 2 Front Teeth. This is coming from their new line called Phantom Transmission. This one is $30. It's coming with 3 stickers, a double-sided slipcover, and a booklet. This is a Christmas horror film from 2006 that the reviews on this look pretty abysmal, I will say.
They need to get a new graphic designer.
You don't love it? A lot of people like the art on all these this time.
No, the art's fine. I mean, just for this like release announcement.
Oh, got it. Like all the arrows and yeah, I get it.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a little messy. I don't know why they went with the like shrubbery background of this one.
No, and like the blue shadow. So, okay.
Yeah, I get it. So if you want all of them, 10 films, this is $300 bundle. Essentially, if you buy the full bundle, you're getting that 2 front teeth film for free because it saves you about $30. But $300 is a lot for this full set. You look constipated.
Pass.
Okay, so I get it. I'm not going to stand up for them. I will say I love the Air 44 guys, but they just had a lot of trouble getting 3 films sent out that were on pre-order for legitimately like 8 months. And to put 10 films on pre-order in one day is just calling
ambitious.
it a stretch would be really underselling it. I would not have a lot of confidence buying this whole bundle from them tomorrow, thinking I would get these before the end of the year. Obviously, that seems nigh impossible, especially because they've not even announced a ship date on this yet. So that's kind of wild. That being said, I do kind of want 2 of these, so I will think about it. But $150 for those 2 things is a lot of money. A lot of money. All right. Hey, last thing I was going to say is about me, actually. I am going to be trickling out some teases and announcements here soon. Most of them are going to be through my Patreon. So sign up for that. If you have not yet, you can subscribe at the link below or at the link on social media. There is some pretty big stuff about to be happening, and I have been working on it for like a year and a half and very eager to start giving some teases before it can actually be fully discussed and revealed and talked about. So come check it out. Sign up on the Patreon, get access to the Discord. You can get access to the magazine and get some behind the scenes stuff sent your way.
I'm signed up.
Yes, you are, and you are quite appreciated. Let's talk about what's coming out next week, in case you forgot, because we are done with the new announcements. The big thing next week, in the US at least, the UK gets it a month later, the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K collection is finally here. Orbit actually got them in today. They are shipping out right now. The Steelbook set is an Amazon exclusive, so that should be shipping probably around Sunday, Monday to people that bought it, and then hopefully they come in good shape. The Wes Anderson Archive 4K collection from Criterion also comes out next week. Creepshow 2 from Arrow on 4K next week as well. Nice. We've got all the OCN stuff shipping to everybody. Dogtooth 4K from Kino next week. Life of Chuck 4K, just a boring release compared to your special HMV one. I'm quite jealous. The art on that HMV release is very nice. Let's see. American Pie 4K getting its standard and Steelbook release here in the US from the studio. We've got Mama 4K from Scream Factory, Danza Macabre Volume 4 from Severin, Becoming Led Zeppelin Steelbook coming, the Dracula Legacy 4K collection, Late Night Mysteries from Dan Curtis from Kino. This is one that I've had since day one. I've been after that one for quite some time. Hong Kong Gamblers and Gangsters from Shout Factory. That one is shipping already, actually. Raw Meat 4K from Blue Underground. Touche Turtle and Dum Dum complete series from Warner Archive. We've got the Treasures of Soviet Animation Volume 2 coming from Deaf Crocodile. That is shipping now, especially the deluxe and the standard will be coming next week. And then we've got Sirius from Deaf Crocodile shipping as well. I Died 1,000 Times from Warner Archive. The Bride of Frankenstein 4K Steelbook from Universal. Black Samson from Warner Archive. And then The Beggar's Opera from Warner Archive. Castlevania, the complete collection. Misericordia from Criterion. That's one that I've been wanting to see for a bit now. Have you seen that one yet? That seems like a movie Krit might have watched, no?
Mm-mm.
All right, I guess. That's pretty much it, other than Shakespeare Shitstorm on 4K from Troma.
Finally, some good movies.
Other than The Life of Chuck, anything here that you feel like you're going to have to purchase?
Not really. What did Wes Anderson do to the CEO of Criterion?
Well, a lot.
What's going on here? What I like Isle of Dogs. Why is he getting a Criterion?
Because it's Wes Anderson.
Stinks. Think of like there's so many like great movies that should be on Criterion, and it gets given to fucking Isle of Dogs and The French Dispatch.
Yeah.
A Nightmare on Elm Street. Actually, no, I take that back. There's no point.
No
Creepshow
point.
2.
Creepshow 2 is a masterpiece. I agree.
Yeah, Creepshow 2. I think that's pretty much the only thing here that like really grabs me.
Gary is asking, what is King Kung Fu? We talked about that on the show a couple weeks ago, but this thing sounds amazing. If you've never heard of it, it says a remote monastery in China has trained a talking gorilla. Yes, a talking gorilla called King Kung Fu in the ancient art of Kung Fu. Having mastered his fighting skills, King Kung Fu is sent to America to demonstrate the power of Chinese martial arts to the West. As he's traveling through Kansas, a pair of bumbling reporters sees KKF, King Kung Fu, and decides he can be their ticket to fame and wealth. Of course, the gorilla gets away from them, and soon everyone is chasing the Shaolin Simian.
Okay, I take it back. I'm interested in that. And Creepshow 2.
It sounds like a fun release.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yep. Yeah, that is it for announcements. So now we get to talk big thing tonight. Denzel.
Oh my god.
And we've only been 2 hours and 15 minutes already, so now it's gonna be a late night. So tell us about Denzel. Why is he one of the best?
Because he is. I have a video about that exact topic, and I don't remember a single thing I said in it. But I'm sure it's more articulate than I'm going to be now. But I just think, just pure screen presence. He blends into any type of role. There's like this weird thing I've heard lately where people just say like Denzel just plays Denzel in movies, and I think that is just such a fucking bizarre thing to say about someone like Denzel, who has like such a vast career of different types of roles, different types of movies. You know, he's known as a leading man, but he plays secondary very, very well. And even when he is a supporting actor, he steals the show completely. He has like a theatrical presence to him. I mean, he's always said like in interviews and stuff, you know, he feels like he's a stage actor, not a film actor, because like the stage is an actor's medium, whereas film is a director's medium. But he brings that like theatricality to his movies. A lot of the times when he's performing, it feels like he's on the stage. He feels like there's an audience there, and you feel like you're watching someone on stage. Like you are just so captured by the performance in that moment that you kind of forget you're watching a movie. And yeah, there is not a single actor like him. I don't like in half of the things that Denzel Washington does, I don't think he could be replaced by a different actor and do anywhere near as well.
I mean, I don't think I could argue with that at all. He absolutely owns every single role that he's in. He's one of those people that are like the last of the capital MS movie stars.
Yeah.
He is up there with the Tom Cruise and the Brad Pitts and the Leo DiCaprios, and that's in that realm. That's probably it. Like literally those four people right now.
Yeah. The thing is like, because whenever I say Denzel's the greatest, people always like chuck someone else out in there. You know, someone will always chuck out like a Daniel Day-Lewis or Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. People love throwing like these people out. Yeah. But like, there are times where I watch any of them in a movie and I know that there is someone else that could be in this movie instead, where like they might not have done quite as good a job, maybe like say Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood, but Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood is not the only actor that could have accomplished that role.
Right.
Whereas like I feel like a lot of the times someone else could have stepped in for Denzel in some of these roles, but the quality drops significantly. You know, like if you have Malcolm X and Malcolm X, you know, is replaced like Denzel for someone else, you know, around that time, that movie is nowhere near as good as it is. Right. Nowhere near. And yeah, I feel like that's the same for a lot of the stuff that he's in.
Yeah, he is great in pretty much everything. We were talking about this before we went live, but he is one of those people that roughly around like the early 90s, he hit that point where he could just make choices on what he was going to be in, and he has had that the entire time, and based on that, he is now not making as many decisions. He has made his money. He gets to continue to make the choices that he wants to make rather than feeling like he has to make them. And based on that, he's in a lot less things nowadays. And honestly, probably not a bad thing. In
Yeah.
fact, I wish some other people would make that same choice.
I know he does a lot of stage stuff
Yeah.
now. Like he stays on Broadway, like doing Othello and stuff like that. He loves doing Shakespeare.
Yeah.
So that's where he is, like, generally. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I think that kind of came about because I think people quickly realized that no matter the quality of the movie itself, if Denzel is in the movie, there is always something to grab onto. I have seen all 56 of this man's work, all 56, and I can tell you, even in the abysmal movies, he is doing a great job. I don't think there's a single Denzel movie where he does not deliver impeccably. And that's something that, like, producers and stuff can hang on to, because it's like, if your movie's coming out and you know as a producer or a director or whatever that it's maybe not the best thing, if you know Denzel's in it, you know you have at least one thing an audience is going to hook onto.
Yeah.
So that very early on allows him to make so many decisions about, like, what he's on, what he, what he's in. He was in, obviously he's in Training Day, but he had the pull at that time to change the director. He came in and the original, I can't remember who was set to direct it, but he basically just was like, I want Antoine Fuqua to direct this. And they was like, okay. And they just brought in Antoine Fuqua instead. So yeah, insane amount of pull.
56 films. You've seen them all. You just mentioned abysmal. Obviously, we're not going to be talking about the abysmal films tonight. Are there a couple that you think that you could name that are just truly bad movies, even though he may not be bad in them?
Yes.
Which ones? Let's hear it.
Carbon Copy. It is atrocious. It's the worst film he's ever been in. It's terrible. It's about this wealthy white guy who finds out that he has a black son, and it destroys his life. And he ends up having to go and live in the ghetto. Yeah. So that's terrible. There's For Queen and Country, where he does a British accent, and it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not a good accent. It's a good performance, but the accent's rough. So that's not great at all. Yeah, Virtuosity is not very good either. In concept, it should be great. It should be amazing even. Russell Crowe, Denzel in like a weird futuristic, like, sci-fi movie, but it's fine. And then he's in like a bunch of TV movies.
Right.
So there's like Wilma, which is his first movie from 1977, which you can only see on like YouTube in 144p, but I did it. And he's only in it for like 5 minutes as well, so that's great. Flesh and Blood, which is like a 4-hour TV movie about a boxer who's in an incestuous relationship with his mother. It stars Tom Berenger, and in the supporting cast Denzel and John Cassavetes, and it's not great. And yeah, there's a bunch more. There's like Heart Condition as well. Heart Condition is not great. It has Bob Hoskins, who's a racist, and he hates Denzel Washington. But Denzel dies, and Denzel, for some reason, is stuck like as a ghost that haunts Bob Hoskins, who's racist the whole time. It's not. It's a weird fucking movie. Anyway, yeah, there's a bunch, but like he's still great in pretty much all of them. So there's that.
So tonight we're going to be going back and forth, ranking 1 through 10, discussing these. We didn't discuss this beforehand. Do you want to do, if the other person has it up higher, do you want to wait and have us both talk about it then, or do you want to discuss it each of our places?
I don't mind.
All right. Well, let's hear your number 10 first. We're going to go through this. And again, just to warn everybody, Krit and I like to break these down when we do this. So
Yes,
good luck. Be along for the ride. And here we
I'll
go.
behave. Right. So I have the physical releases for the ones that I have. And at my number 10, I do have a physical release for it is Man on Fire, directed by Tony Scott. Okay, every film in my top 10, by the way, is a 10 out of 10. I have all of these at 5 stars. They're all perfect movies. So,
In other words, this was very difficult for Krit to do.
this was so upsetting because, like, even at like in my ranking at 20 is a 9 out of 10.
Jeez.
So, like, my 20th is Cry Freedom. Like, it's so.
We're splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah. So yeah, at 10 is Man on Fire. Tony Scott. Have you seen the Rotten Tomatoes for this movie?
No. Oh, are you about to upset me?
Have a guess.
With you saying that, it's probably lower than I was expecting. So I'm gonna say like 58.
39.
Oh,
39.
see, and it should be like an 82.
Right. Ryan's right, by the way. He Hoskins does get the heart transplant from Denzel. That's correct. Yeah. It's been a while since I watched Heart Condition. Oh, dude, watch Man on Fire. Yeah. 39% is outrageous for a Tony Scott movie that is everything Tony Scott. It has like the sweaty kind of schizophrenic editing. The color palette for it is very burnt orange. And yeah, it's a remake, first of all. And Tony Scott did a few of those, like 2000s, like remake. He did like the Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3 as well with Denzel, which I also really like. It's not in my top 10, but I also really like that movie, just to put it out there. Also, strangely, I think that is one of the only movies where I think someone outacted Denzel.
Ooh.
I think Travolta in the Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3 is so wonderful. He is like out of his fucking mind in that movie.
Yeah.
That like, I think he got it more than Denzel got it. Like, so anyway, Man on Fire.
Yeah.
He's great with Dakota Fanning. Is like so good in that movie. It is Dakota, right? Not Elle. I think it's Dakota. Yeah, it is Dakota. Yeah. I always get them mixed up, and my fiance gets really upset at me. Yeah, she is such a wonderful child actor, and yeah, her performance in this is so heartbreaking. If people don't know what it's about Denzel, who's a drunk, which he plays a lot, and he's a bodyguard for a little girl who gets kidnapped, and he goes on like a revenge quest to get her back. Basically, it's like John Wick but better. It's got Christopher Walken in it, Mickey Rourke when like Mickey Rourke was like an actual good actor.
Better looking too.
Far better looking, yeah. And yeah, it's just a wonderful time. The action is top tier. It's Tony Scott. Like everyone mentions, because Denzel has a really good relationship with a lot of directors like Antoine Fuqua and stuff like that. But everyone mentions Spike Lee, like Spike Lee and Denzel are like the crowning two. But I think Tony Scott and Denzel were like a much better pair. I think that the Spike Lee one has like higher highs but much lower lows, whereas I think Tony Scott and Denzel like consistently hit very, very like strong. We're rating movies, not Denzel's performances, but they sometimes go hand in hand. Yeah, but Man on Fire, excellent movie.
It is excellent, which is why I'll be talking about it later. But yeah, it's very good. My number 10, speaking of, I'm just going to go right into it because of what you just said, is a Spike Lee film that tends to get forgotten a lot. And so I got to bring up Inside Man here.
Okay. I thought you were going to say like He Got Game or something.
No, Inside Man gets overlooked as not like top tier Denzel, not top tier Spike Lee, not top tier anybody, which by the way, cast in this is great. Even like James Ransone is in this, but Christopher fucking Plummer, Clive Owen, Willem Dafoe is in this, Jodie Foster is in this.
Yep.
So Oh yeah, Chiwetel Ejiofor is so good in this. Denzel plays a detective. Another thing he plays a lot, and he is magnificent in this. And essentially, if you've never seen it, it is a bank robbery heist gone wrong, turns into a hostage situation, and then Denzel has to be one of the negotiators. And it's a movie that really could have fallen apart into like I don't know, like a wannabe like go with the super cliche ending type of film, but
Mhm.
instead this was brilliantly written to just sort of pepper along the whole story the entire way instead of like a big twist reveal and
Yeah.
have you like lose everything out of the sales. But this movie is just great. It's written like perfectly balanced. It's kind of a weird thing to say, but and I don't want to give away too much of this movie because it's very good to see if
Yeah.
you've never seen it. Spike Lee, really good director for this, but because it's not his typical thing, I think people just forget that it's Spike a lot of the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Denzel, fantastic in this. Whole story of this is great. Very tense movie. Certainly one that you can quickly get lost in. Love this movie. Love the cast. Like I said, yeah, Inside Man, number 10.
I have that at 17.
Oh, jeez.
I know. But like I said, like number 20 is like a 9 out of 10.
Right.
So it like the gap between 17 and like 11 is very minuscule.
Right.
So, yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. Number 9 for you.
Number 9 is another one I own. I have a video on this one actually as well, which is Mississippi Masala.
It's my number 9 as well. This is amazing.
Is it? Ah,
Yeah.
brilliant then. Yeah. Mississippi Masala is so fantastic. I think the way like it handles everything that I mentioned in my video, really, like racial tensions, but not just racial tensions between like the obvious groups of like white and minority, but within minority communities, like
Right.
within the black community, how they see, other like Asian people and how Asian people see black people, and in these like lower economic communities as well. How like everything's kind of pitted against each other.
Yep.
When really you are one and the same, and like kind of the cycle of how like that stuff is bred into you as well from children and stuff like that. Yeah. It's a beautifully made movie. I think Denzel should have done a lot more rom-coms in his time.
Oh yeah.
It's not a rom-com, it's like a romance movie rather, but yeah, he's such a good romantic lead, and I think him and Sarita are like maybe the most gorgeous couple in a romance movie ever. They are like just two of the most beautiful people, and there's like this one scene where they're like walking on the beach, and they're just talking to each other, and I remember watching it for the first time going like, this is like the most beautiful thing ever put to a screen. It's like 10 out of 10 people just walking on the
Yep.
sunniest beach, like just talking about love. It's beautiful.
So on that note, this might be the movie where I like had to question, did I just fall in love with Denzel Washington?
Mhm.
He oozes charisma from every
Yeah.
single scene in this movie. He is magnificent in this. He is magnetic. Like I feel like everybody in this movie is attracted to him in so many different ways. But the crazy thing that gets kind of like brushed under the rug, I guess, when discussing this, is specifically where you're talking about with the minority groups, because this isn't just, hey, we're in Mississippi and the white people think black people are bad. Like, this is true African American diaspora. This is Indian ethnic groups. This
Mhm.
is mixing of ethnic groups and people that don't agree with that, and how that changes tensions and stuff. This movie is beautiful in so many different ways, and I completely agree. He should have done another, I don't know, 8 movies like this in the 2 years following this. However, he probably thought that was enough and just made his his choices to do better. But yeah, this is one that gets sorely overlooked. Has a really wonderful Criterion release.
Mhm.
Beautiful film, wonderfully directed, and some really great like vistas, like the classic
Yeah.
use of the word. The way they get landscapes in this movie feel
Gorgeous.
special. It
Yeah.
feels very, what's the best way to say this? Like, I feel like it feels like film in the 90s, but not like of the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
I get you.
there's something special about how we went on scene in the 90s to go film things right before we went to the green screen of everything. Like, things got actual budgets, and they said, no, we're setting a camera up and we're getting this sunset specifically, and it's gorgeous in this movie. Yeah, check out Mississippi Masala. You need to see it if you haven't.
It's so good. And on the topic of like Denzel should have done more like more romance stuff. It's quite funny because like Denzel's whole career, people have like fawned over Denzel. He's like very well known as a very handsome man. He's like people love. I remember women like when I was growing up would watch Denzel movies just to see Denzel. They didn't care about the movie or anything like that. So he's like such an obvious pick for a romantic lead. He has so much charisma. He's so very like good looking, but he just never really ventured into that genre, which I find quite interesting.
Yeah. Should point out, directed by Myra Nair.
Yep.
That is the director. Criterion releasing Salam Bombay, her first film in December, and she's also the mother of the current New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani, who should hopefully be winning in a landslide.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant. Right. So go and see that and see my video on it, because nobody did.
Number 8. You want me to share mine first, or you want to keep going on yours since we had the same one?
You go.
So my number 8 is one of the first like forced upon me Denzel movies to watch that I did not like at first and learned to love later after watching it 3 more times. I think by that face you probably know exactly what it is. I was forced to watch Glory in school, and this movie is amazing. Glory is yet another one of these movies that has just a shockingly great cast. 1989, directed by Edward Zwick, and we got Matthew Broderick in this, Carrie Elwes, but maybe more important, Morgan Freeman is so good in this. Andre Braugher is great in this. Just a bunch of like random character actors, like Richard Riel is in this. You'll recognize his face from all kinds of shit that you've seen and loved. But this is about a Civil War volunteer company that's all black. They're fighting against the Union, fighting as the Union against the Confederates. And there's, of course, racial problems everywhere because it's an all-black volunteer group and it's the Civil War. So it is like the overarching tension in this entire movie. This movie rules and does not get discussed enough in 2025. The 4K looks really great, by the way. Sony released that a few years ago. Morgan Freeman in this is, I mean, he was already older, but something about him in this like is the first thing that he did where I was like, oh man, he's like the voice of reason in so many different situations. He's like a born leader. This is one that Denzel does not have a huge role, but when he's on screen, it is huge. He is a tour de force when he needs to be. Love Glory. I think it's overlooked and sort of underappreciated in 2025. And honestly, right now, probably one of the more important movies that we could watch. So, yeah. Glory.
Glory's not on my list, so I get to talk about Glory a little bit. It's at 16.
Oh, nice.
I love Glory. So when I watched Glory, we didn't watch this in school because it's American Civil War, so they didn't really teach us that shit. But I do remember watching it when I was roughly that age, and I was bored to tears. So when it came to doing my Denzel video, and I was like, "Fuck, I've got to watch Glory. I don't want to watch fucking Glory. I don't care." I was stunned by it. I think genuinely it was the first time I got Morgan Freeman. Because Morgan Freeman is in so much stuff, but every time I watch him, I'm like, he's okay. Like, he's a fine actor. He's okay. He's charismatic, but I don't understand like the thing with Morgan Freeman. I don't know how this guy out of all of them. And then I was like, fuck, Morgan Freeman's really good in Glory. He's so good in Glory. Also, they're correct. Andre Braugher's in this movie. He's so good in this movie. Denzel's obviously great. He has the Glory tier, the famous tier. I believe he was nominated for the Oscar for this, but
I think so.
yeah, I don't think he won. I think this is the first time he was like nominated
Yeah.
for an Oscar for Best Supporting. And yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant movie. And you know it's great because I don't care about war movies. I especially don't care about the American Civil War. And I did not care for Morgan Freeman. So it has to tell you something. It's fantastic. Also, Edward Zwick, who directed it, did 2 more movies with Denzel. He
Yep.
did The Siege and Courage Under Fire.
Both
The
good movies.
Siege is pretty okay. It's pretty good. And Courage Under Fire, I think, is super underrated.
It's very underrated. Good choice there. That almost made my list. That was a one. I think that would have been like 13.
Courage Under Fire is it's like 33 on mine. But even still there, I think it's got like 3.5 stars.
Oh, Denzel did win the Oscar for Glory.
Ah, okay. I know there was like an Oscar thing there in my head. I just couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah, I did. For some reason, I had it in my mind that his first win was not in the 80s.
Fair enough.
All right, your number 8.
My number 8. What is it? It's it's The Tragedy of Macbeth, directed
And I
by
have not
Joel
seen
Cohen. Yeah, so obviously I don't have a physical release for it because there isn't one. As far as I know, this is where you say like, "Oh, Italy has one."
I don't know. There might be one. I'll check.
But yeah, it's so good. Like, everybody knows Denzel, stage actor. You know, he loves being on stage, and he definitely loves Shakespeare. He's done Shakespeare a million times, and I studied Macbeth at school. You know, everyone studies something Shakespeare at school, but for us it was Macbeth, and I hated it. I was bored to tears with Macbeth. It's nowhere near my favorite Shakespeare thing, and this is the first time I understood Macbeth. Like, I understood the power of it and how great this story can be. I think reading the material didn't really work for me, but like seeing it is so, because this is a stage play just filmed. Every set on here looks like it was built for a stage. You know, there's no like complicated like structures or anything like that. It's all very plain. It's all very beautiful as well. It's a very beautifully shot like black and white film. And every performer in it is performing like they're on a stage. There's like long takes of just big monologues and stuff like that, which obviously Denzel thrives in. And I think it also expertly shows how much Denzel understands Shakespeare, because Shakespeare was funny. Like, for his time, there was a lot of comedy in his work, and I feel like a lot of that gets lost in, you know, over time in the translation as comedy changes and the wordings and stuff. But like, Denzel is funny in this movie. He makes that dialogue his own, and he's like super charismatic as he always is with it. And yeah, it's so good, and a great cast as well.
I've heard nothing but good things about this. I really need to see it. It's just they try to get people to not be able to see it, it feels like.
Yeah, it's funny because obviously the Coen brothers like broke up, and Joel Coen has gone and made this like masterpiece, while Ethan is just making like his weird like little goofy zany things, and I need him to like sort his shit out.
Yeah. I haven't hated his stuff, but yeah, please get back together with your boyfriend.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 7, since I've not seen that one, is Training Day. 2001's Training Day, directed by Antoine Fuqua. It feels like it was made for me. I feel like Antoine Fuqua, when he was on fire, was incredible. But the big thing is Denzel and Ethan Hawke are like the perfect team up for my sensibilities. They play off each other extremely well in this movie. Denzel, again, playing a detective, but not quite the same detective as he normally does, is training Ethan Hawke essentially on his first day as a rookie cop, and shit goes bad. It's a just wonderfully acted movie. It's two people giving like the performances of a lifetime in that moment, and it is like endlessly quotable. Denzel is like there are some scenes in this where you can like visibly see him shaking because of how he's acting. He is so into this that it is this is like the perfect example of those every time I see him acting I only see Denzel. No,
Mhm.
watch fucking Training Day, dude. He is another person altogether.
He's scary as fuck in Training Day.
Yeah, it's wild. If you've not seen Training Day, you should, and go into it not knowing anything. This is one of those movies that it's absolutely better for that. This is another one with a lot of names in the background. I mean, they got fucking Dr. Dre and Snoop in this.
Yeah,
Raymond J. Barry is in this. Tom Berenger is in this. But
Scott Glenn.
oh, Scott Glenn, yeah, big
Mhm.
part in this. I mean, there's so much that can be said about Training Day, but it's all kind of been said before. It is one of those like classic LA crime movies, and
Yeah.
if you have not taken the time with it, you should. It's a 2-hour movie that I feel like I wouldn't have been mad if it was 3 hours longer.
Yeah.
I love stuff like this, and I feel like it is one of the best examples of like dirty cop training a rookie type of movies that have been attempted. And this is one of those that could not have been anybody but Denzel. He is this role. He is Training Day. I love this movie.
Oh, we'll be talking about Training Day later because it is on my list.
Nice.
Before that, though, is one I don't have a physical release for, which irks me. Is John Q.
Mm.
So John Q used to be higher on my list, but recent rewatches have dropped it down to 7. But what a movie! Okay, so we played this game earlier. Let's play it again. What do you think the Rotten Tomato score of John Q is?
What I think it should be, probably about the same as what I said for the other one. I'll say it should be like a 83, and it's probably based on what you just said, probably like a 41.
It is 26.
Jesus Christ.
20.
Rotten Tomatoes suck
Six.
ass so much.
26. What? Right. John Q, so powerful. 1, relevant, even still to today.
Yeah.
The performance put in by Denzel stands out even in a career of standout performances. It is so powerful. It is so simple. And that's what makes it so effective. If nobody knows what it's about John Quincy Archibald. He's just a regular dad. He works part-time at a factory because they've cut his hours and whatever. And his son has a problem, a medical problem, like his heart's too big. He needs a heart transplant. But Denzel doesn't have the insurance because his job put him on a worse insurance plan. And the surgery cost like 250,000 or whatever, so he just can't afford it. And he tries everything to make up the money for this. He sells the car, he's selling everything, like his wife's engagement ring. He's doing everything he possibly can. He's going to financial aid and doing all these different kinds of things, and he just cannot come up with the money. And he eventually takes hostage of the hospital. So he bolts like all these doors, and he takes a doctor, a couple nurses, and a couple civilians that are just like in the waiting room until his demands are met, which is to get his son a new heart. So powerful. It's truly the shining example of like a really good person in a really bad situation, because like objectively what he's doing is a terrible thing. Yeah. He's holding all these people at gunpoint. He's holding them hostage, a lot of them sick people, because he's not just, the chief of surgery or whatever. It's not just him in there, but it's a woman who's pregnant. And there's a guy, like, there's Eddie Griffin in this movie, and like his fingers are all cut off. And yeah, there's like a woman in there with a baby that has like an ear infection and stuff, and he's got all these people in there. And you would think that like because of this awful situation, like he's the villain, but everyone groups around him because everyone's very sympathetic to his cause, even the people that he's holding hostage. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's directed by Nick Cassavetes, which is fun because of that Flesh and Blood TV movie I mentioned earlier has John Cassavetes in it, so like Denzel has kind of a little link there. And everyone in this movie is just so unreasonable, can I say? Like, there is not a single reasonable person in this movie except for John Q. Like, the director of the hospital is an asshole. She, like, is not sympathetic at all to his cause. Like, the chief of surgery is like, right, so these are your options. And she's like, hold on. You cannot afford these options. Therefore, get out. She doesn't care at all. John's wife, Kimberly Elise, in this movie is like the meanest person that's ever existed. Like, the movie opens up with their car getting repossessed, and she's angry at him, and he's basically going like, well, they cut my hours at the factory, so I had to either make a payment on the house or the car, so I chose the house. And she's still like pissed at him, and she's like really angry. And then when it comes to the medical bill stuff, she's like super angry at him still for not being able to afford the medical bills. And then she's like, do something, John, like that. And then he takes the hospital kid like hostage. And it's so jarring because it's like, you're in the same position as him.
Yeah.
Why are you angry at him? And everyone is the same. Like, everyone is just so unreasonable and obtuse. But it's fine. Eddie Griffin is hilarious in this movie. Every line reading he has is so funny. And yeah, so it's a great movie.
It is, which is why I'll talk about it a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
My number 6 is kind of a good companion piece to Glory because it's related to war, kind of. And that is 1995's Devil in a Blue Dress. Carl Franklin directs the absolute hell out of this movie. This is set just after World War II, and essentially Denzel's a war hero that comes back to Los Angeles and gets stuck in the middle of this crazy, like, murder mystery, socio-political scandal thing. And the big thing with this is, if you like anything that Carl Franklin has done, obviously the one that you would probably go with this is One False Move, but Out of Time he also did with Denzel.
Yep, with Denzel.
Decent, not top 10 material, but decent. One False Move is really great, and I would say this one is up there as well. But this movie, Denzel is hot as hell in this movie. It is such a beautiful period piece, captures LA in just a really beautiful, like the closest thing I'd probably say to is like Mulholland Falls sort of feeling. Everything is like that. Everybody's wearing a suit type of background shots.
It's a noir, like out of its time.
Yeah. It is so good. The murder mystery aspect and like the political scandal of this, though, is so well done for a movie like this. They could have easily like cheaped out on a way worse script, and instead this, even without Denzel, this movie would have still been a banger. Thankfully he's in it and it elevates it to something incredible. But Devil in a Blue Dress deserves every like look back that it possibly can get, especially when you consider the timeline of doing this right after World War II and setting it as a noir, as him investigating this as a black man in the late 40s. There's so much that comes with that, and he delivers all of it with nuance and poise, and just again oozes charisma like he does in so many of these movies. But this movie specifically, it gets to me. I mean, everything about this is interesting and compelling, and one of those where it's like, I love spending time in these scenes, but also get along with it because I really want to see what happens next. And some of the other movies that are in this genre, it's, I don't know, they lose steam. This movie kind of starts and then doesn't let up in a very compelling way. Worth watching. It's got a nice Criterion release. I believe. I think Criterion did it.
I don't know. I have the Indicator release of this.
I was about to say the Indicator release is the one I have. Great film, great performance. again, really good cast too. Wasn't going to highlight that too much because there's not a lot that are like massive, but Don Cheadle in this, Tom Sizemore, Jennifer Beals also in this, but random ass character actors again that you've seen in so many different things up here in the background. You're like, oh, I've seen. Oh, he's gone, and he's never in a scene again in this movie. But yeah, really, really fun movie. Love this film.
Yeah, it's not in my 10. It's at 14. But yeah, I do still really love it. 9 out of 10, 4.5 stars. Brilliant movie. So yeah, you basically covered everything, I would say. Also, but to this point that Mr. Adam Schofield's saying, Denzel is in so many non-violent
a lot
movies.
of violent movies, yeah.
He is in a lot of violent, but like so many non. Like, I mean, there's More Better Blues and Mississippi Masala and Fences and Philadelphia and Much Ado About Nothing. Like, there's a lot. But
It's true.
Yeah. But at my number
6
is Mo Better Blues. What a movie. So, Spike Lee joint. Again, an incredible cast. Like a really good cast as well, actually. So let me just... So it's got Denzel. Spike Lee's obviously in it. It's got Wesley Snipes in this movie. Giancarlo Esposito. He's really good in it. John Turturro. Charlie Murphy's in this for like 2 scenes as well. But Charlie Murphy's so funny. And yeah, it's such a good movie. It's about like a jazz musician. He's a trumpeter. And it's one of those movies that makes you care for something even if you don't generally. Kind of like Moneyball does for baseball. Yeah. Like, you care so much for the jazz music in this, even if, you know, you don't love jazz. And we really, really need Giancarlo in more lighthearted comedic roles. Like, he's, for the past 10 years, he has just been playing Gus Fring in different scenarios. And it's killing me because he is such a funny and charismatic actor.
Yep.
But yeah, so good. Denzel, I think this is probably a top 3 or 4 Denzel performance. It has like his very theatrical approach, but even in them quieter moments, it's got like this kind of grandiose nature to it. Even, you know, when he's not shouting or delivering a big monologue, just when it's him with his thoughts, it still feels very thought-provoking. It still feels very grand. And he also feels like a very tangible person here.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of the times, like Denzel in movies feels larger than life. You know, but in this movie, he feels like someone you would just know. And that comes with like a lot of the chemistry that he has with the bandmates, with Wesley Snipes and with Spike Lee and with everyone that's in like that group. His scenes, especially like backstage, just in like those green rooms or whatever, are so naturalistic and so funny and so just like free flowing. They're some of the best scenes that Spike Lee has ever directed. And yeah. So there's a thing, by the way, with highest to lowest on the Spike Lee train of thought, where people are really upset with it because it makes a lot of bizarre choices, which it does. It makes a lot of bizarre like music choices, and a lot of bizarre like tone choices and editing choices. And here's the thing. Spike Lee does that in this movie as well. But people like this movie, so they're more accepting of it.
Yeah.
But I think like in the modern day, people aren't really too accepting of like a high director like that making just weird and bizarre choices. But there's like multiple times in this movie where there's like the score is going on, and it's not like the jazz score, it's just like it's the film's general score, and it feels so clashing to what you're seeing,
right?
And it's so odd and out of place, but it works. And I feel like that's the same thing in Highest to Lowest. He's just doing like the exact same thing, and I think it works phenomenally. And yeah, I think Bleak is one of the most layered and interesting characters in the Denzel canon. um, we deal a lot with time and how we spend it and who we spend it on and the value of what we spend our time on, you know, whether it's people or a passion, and finding the balance in those things, and the repercussions of choosing one thing over the other. And yeah, I think it just has some really interesting dynamics and stuff like that. Like Bleak and Wesley Snipes' character Shadow, they're always at odds in this movie. They're always at each other. But when a certain thing happens closer to the third act, Shadow's like right there with him. You know, it's his friend, and I feel like it's an interesting display of friendship in this movie that feels very real, because friends aren't always just big buddies, you know. But yeah, it's great. Also, there's a shot of an actual birth in this movie, by the way. There's like an actual birth.
Yep.
It's so odd. Spike Lee paid people so he could film them giving birth for this movie, and he had the hospital like on speed dial, like so they would call him as soon as someone goes into labor. Crazy, bizarre thing, but yeah.
So, music is huge for me. I was in jazz band growing up, and this was on my list for the longest time. It got bumped at the last moment because I didn't want to have too many Spike Lee films in my top 10. So this is technically my number 11. But this movie is very, very special to me. This is one that I have seen many times. One of my favorite Spikes, one of my favorite Denzels, one of my favorite music movies, and it's very, very good. You said everything very eloquently, so I will let it go there for sure.
Yeah. Also, just real quick, the final moments of the movie kind of silently talk about like how we avoid the pitfalls of parenting by looking at our own parents, you know, and we see how we turn into them, but also adjust. You know, like, and I'm sure you as a parent can definitely like relate to that in some way, where he sees like how his mother and father like treated his passion towards music and forcing him into it, and when he finally has a child, he kind of alters that behavior in his parenting. And I just thought that was like a really interesting thing to end the movie on.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's important, and not super stereotypical Spike type of choice. So it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cool.
My number 5 is not in your top 10. I can say that now. I know objectively that this is probably not even worthy of the top 10, but this is a personal choice for me. My number 5 is Tony Scott's last film, 2010's Unstoppable.
Wow.
Yes. So I don't know if you've ever heard this, because I don't talk about it too much, but I was a railroad conductor for multiple years of my life.
I did not know this.
My father was an engineer. My grandfather was an engineer. I grew up around the railroad, and this movie gets a lot wrong about trains. This movie also gets a lot right about trains. And for a movie about an unstoppable train, which the whole premise for this is kind of sort of impossible with how it would go down. It's shockingly tense, but it's a very fun movie.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it like brought legitimacy to a lot of stuff that I did.
Mhm.
I loved this movie when it came out, and it was like, man, Tony Scott is still out here making really fucking amazing, like great entertaining movies.
Mhm.
And then he died. And it was like, Jesus, like, what are we doing? He had so many great movies still left within him, and now he's gone. And like, instead we're stuck with the other Scott, who's nowhere near as fun. And unfortunately, here we are.
True. It's true. Do you know what actually makes this sad? When Flight came out, Denzel was doing like obviously the promo tour for Flight, and Tony Scott had like just recently like passed, and they were talking to him about it, and he was saying that like the day or two before, you know, Tony Scott passed away, they had spoke on the phone about doing another movie, and Tony Scott had this idea for another movie with Denzel, and Denzel was obviously like super up for it. And it's just like, it's annoying that we never got to see like what them two could have done in their late stage of their careers.
Yeah. So 19-year-old Ryan, I was a conductor, and I worked there for a few years until the economy tanked, and then I got laid off in a span of 1 year. I got laid off like 36 times from the railroad. They would lay you off for like 4 days and then call you back to work on the weekend because everybody took the weekend off and they didn't have enough people. And so I had a really rough year of it, but this was, funny enough, came right after I decided like to fully walk away from the railroad, and watching this was kind of cathartic because it was like, damn, like this is really interesting to watch. A lot of it is wrong, and I know that. However, it's entertaining as hell. Another one, like we're gonna say this all night because most of his movies have incredible casts, but for a movie like Unstoppable about an unmanned train going out, possibly to kill people, is really stacked. I mean, Rosario Dawson is great in this. Ethan Suplee is in this, but the big thing, like, this is one of the best Chris Pine performances that he's ever done.
Easily.
He's so good in this. Kevin Dunn is in this, another character actor. Kevin Corrigan, another one that's in this. Unfortunately, you got to do a little bit of like sucking it up to deal with TJ Miller ever so slightly in this.
Yeah.
But overall, really fun movie, built around trains, which we don't get a lot of movies about trains. And to be honest, it's a huge backbone of the U.S. And there's a lot of stories you could tell around this shit. So yeah, love this movie. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's at 34 on mine.
Not shocked.
Yeah, but like it is in good company. Like it is next to Courage Under Fire and Out of Time and stuff like that. Like it's still a very high quality movie. It's like way above The Book of Eli and all of that stuff. So, yeah, let's not even get there. It is my least favorite Tony Scott and Denzel collaboration, of which I think they've done four, right? Crimson Tide, right. Deja Vu, Man on Fire, and Unstoppable. Yep, yeah, that works. Yeah, it's my least favorite of those, but it's still a very quality movie. You can put it on any time. It's like Speed, but with a train. It's just very rewatchable.
I agree.
Oh, and The Taking of Pelham. Sorry, there's 5.
Oh, yeah.
The Taking of Pelham. There's 5.
I always forget that was Tony Scott for some reason.
You shouldn't, because when you watch it, it's very obvious.
It's very. Yeah. I think everything just
Tony Scott movie.
Travolta with that. So
yeah, it's true. Yeah. Okay. So, my number 5 is also a Tony Scott movie. It is Deja Vu. What an impossibly perfect movie.
Yes.
Like the first time I watched this, I gave it, I think, like a 7 out of 10 or something, which is still quite high, but like, crazy, right? And then I saw like Zach had seen it, and Zach gave it like super high, like a 9 out of 10. And I was like, that's strange. It's unusual that he'd like this more than I did. And then I rewatched it and I gave it a 10. And I was like, this is perfect. What the fuck was I on when I first watched this? This is so good.
Yeah.
Like, Deja Vu is just so beautiful. It is like, that's the word I would describe it as. It's beautiful. It's got like, I mean, the aesthetic of it is just gorgeous. It has like all of those very mellow blues and greens, but also like these oranges and yellow tinges to them. It's very hazy, kind of like a dream. Absolutely gorgeous. Tony Scott crafted the aesthetic of this so well. And I think this might be the peak of his like 2000s style. And Denzel, he gets to do everything that he's good at in this movie. He gets to be charming and intimidating. He gets to do like sweeping monologues, but he also gets to do like smaller, passionate line deliveries, and he's charismatic and funny. He's just a quintessential Denzel character. Like everything that Denzel is good at is in this movie, is in this performance. Yep. And again, like we always said, the cast for this is super good. There's like Adam Goldberg and Matt Craven, Eldon Henson, Elle Fanning, Val Kilmer's in this movie, Bruce Greenwood's in this movie for like one scene. Yep. It's so good. And the concept is crazy because like the sci-fi aspect of this movie creeps up on you if you didn't know it was like a sci-fi movie, because it's just a regular kind of detective procedural thing for a while. And then they start bullshitting him about like the technology that they have.
Yeah.
And I love that the movie kind of trusts the audience to be on the same wavelength, because we're hearing it and you're sitting there going like, doesn't sound right. That sounds like bullshit to me.
Yep.
And then when he finally gets to call it out and he does like the big speech, where he smashes the monitor and he's like, the monitor is dead. So now is she dead or alive? And he's doing that whole thing. Oh, it's so good, and it feels so like cathartic as an audience. Yeah, it's brilliant. It doesn't bother trying to explain too much of it to you. It is very much like just an emotional ride. And there's one like car scene, the car chase with the helmet on. Anyone that's seen the movie knows the exact scene. It is one of the most inventive and fun car chase scenes I've ever seen in my life. There is nothing else like it. It's
one
so
of Tony
good.
Scott's best directed scenes that he ever did.
Yeah, and this movie just has such an empathetic camera.
Yep.
Like every shot feels so in love with the moment, and every emotion that every actor and every character is feeling, that camera picks up in perfect quality.
Yep.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it so much.
It's very good, which is why I'll talk about it in a few minutes.
Yeah.
My number 4 is one that you already spoke on. I don't really have a ton to add, but I actually have John Q here at number 4. This movie, it's just so personal, I think is the best way to put this. And being a quintessential American through and through film about fuck the healthcare system, we're all screwed. It just means so much. It's why Saw 6 is one of my favorite Saw movies. It's like the conceit of the healthcare system is killing all of us and we're all just along for the ride is wild. And it's leading to the fact that the movie John Q is relatable for people is terrifying. That's probably the way I should end that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like how John Q is so good though. So I have it on a 5-star. It's 7, out of 56. It used to be 3, but like a lot's happened.
Yeah.
And I've never struggled with any of that because we have the NHS, God bless. And I don't know anyone personally that has ever dealt with anything like that. It's not even within my realm of possibility, and it's still powerful to me. A complete outsider of the situation. So it's a very, very powerful movie.
It is. I love it so much. Your number 4?
My number 4 is Training Day, which you spoke about briefly earlier. Training Day is so good, dude.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday or the day before. I rewatched Training Day, and after I watched it, I was like, fuck, that was so good. And I went upstairs and I watched like a bunch of videos on Training Day. It's funny, you mentioned in your like little segment that like this movie, is Denzel, and there's not, but originally when the original director was attached to it, it was going to be Matt Damon and Sam Jackson, which I don't think works at all.
Nope.
Like at all. Like I don't think Matt Damon is dweeby enough that Ethan Hawke could pull off at this time, and Sam Jackson couldn't pull off evil enough, I think.
Right. Well, and just like Ethan Hawke could not have done it if it was like 10 years later. He was already way too cool and polished by then.
Yeah, like at this very specific time, they needed Ethan Hawke, which Denzel really pushed for behind the scenes. Like he really wanted Ethan Hawke for this thing, and he got him the audition and stuff. But yeah, there were so many people attached to the role of Jake before Ethan Hawke. Obviously, there was Matt Damon. They offered it to Eminem, who turned it down because he was doing 8 Mile.
Yep.
Which is funny because obviously, Dr. Dre's in this movie. They considered Tobey Maguire, Freddie Prinze Jr., Paul Walker, Scott Speedman, like just a bunch of people. But it was always going to be Ethan Hawke. It had to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, it had to be Denzel. Like he's so terrifying in this movie in such a charming and subtle way. It's like this is what the devil is. If the devil was a person, it's Alonzo, because he is wicked through and through, but he does it all with the most funny and charismatic like lines and smile and feel to him that like you want to root for him. You think maybe he isn't actually a bad guy. The whole movie you're like doubting everything that you're seeing and witnessing because he's doing it so charismatically. And yeah, there's a million quotes in this movie, just a million of them. He is like, every line he does in this movie is like you can put it on your fridge. It's brilliant, especially that like final scene, the very big speech, which was mostly improvised as well. I remember seeing this clip where someone has like the script next to the clip of and it's like none of it matches at all. Denzel goes way off script for that final scene, but like he's so good at it. It's such a powerful scene. I quote it all the time. It's brilliant. It's so funny. Also, this movie just has like some weird stuff going on. Like Macy Gray is in this movie for a scene. I've seen this movie.
She's not bad in this either. She's actually pretty good.
I've seen her a million times. Right, I've seen this movie a million times, and I didn't realize until 2 days ago that it was Macy Gray. And I was like, fuck, that's Macy Gray. That's crazy. Tom Berenger is in this movie for like one scene, who is also in that Flesh and Blood TV movie with Denzel. So there's a little reunite there. This was Terry Crews's first gig. Yep. Because he was working security on the set, and there was like, I want that dude in the shot, which makes sense because he does look terrifying in this movie. They had like real Crips on the set as well, like for the authenticity, which is crazy. Eva Mendes is so like beautiful in this movie. This was the first time I discovered I had a crush on Eva Mendes. I was watching Training Day when I was like 13 with my brother, and I was like, that is the perfect human. That's what perfect people look like. And yeah, it's just such a brilliant movie. Jake is such a fucking buster in this movie. Alonzo gets him to smoke PCP on his first day on the job. That's like, come on, man. Just get out the car. Just get. But you know, like it comes back around, and yeah, it's such a cathartic ending to the film as well. To a movie where like it just feels so miserable. Like the entire movie is miserable.
It's tense and bleak throughout.
Yeah. So yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, love it too. My number 3, another one that you've already spoke on, going hard with a couple of directors here at the end, of course. Deja Vu is at number 3. I'm glad that you had it high as well. The one thing I want to add, which you spoke on, how they filmed that action scene. Very specifically, the whole movie is about this ferry exploding, and the beauty that he captures in the actual explosion in this is wild, and something we are sorely missing in movies in 2025. Just like the practical, that is an actual ferry on a river being fucking exploded, and it looks amazing.
No one does it like Tony.
Shot so wonderfully. Absolutely wanted to highlight that because he deserves it. Deja Vu. It feels like deja vu because I would just want to say everything that you said again. But for a movie like this with that type of conceit of the whole playing with time thing, way better than just like reading the synopsis. It's so much better than you think it would be.
Yeah.
It's a masterpiece. Love it. 10 out of 10. Perfect movie.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single director that does like explosions better than Tony Scott. Nope. I just don't. There's not a single one. He's so fantastic at those action stuff. And yeah, the ferry explosion is brilliant. The whole intro to the ferry explosion is just incredible because it's almost like a nature documentary. Like,
well, and the choices that he made, like to go from shot to shot to shot to actually be like, oh, here's what we're doing, and oh shit, like it's such a perfect setup for that. Yeah,
it feels like he's more just setting a scene just for like characters to walk into.
Yep,
you know, yeah, it's so good, brilliant movie.
Yep. Number 3.
Number 3 is my favorite Tony Scott movie, actually, just in general. It is Crimson Tide. I love Crimson Tide so much. This might be the Denzel movie I have seen the most.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I put on Crimson Tide all the time. Gorgeous movie, absolutely beautiful. Like this is where like Tony Scott I felt was starting to really play with colors. Like there are so many like bright reds and greens and blues and stuff in what should be realistically a very dull environment because it's inside a submarine pretty much the entire runtime. Um, and yeah, this is the second time that Hackman and Denzel worked together. They worked together in a Sidney Lumet movie called Power, which is ungodly boring. And yeah, it's like just two titans acting against each other, not even with. Like it feels like they're competing in every scene to have the better performance, and it does depend on the scene who is actually doing it. And it has like so much to say about like old ideologies versus new ideologies and the passing of torches and how we come to those agreements. It's so tense. It is maybe one of the most tense movies I've ever seen in my life. I have seen it a million times, and I still, every time I'm watching it, feel like I don't know how this is going to end. Everyone is right and everyone is wrong. And yeah, it just has like some of the best performances. Again, the cast is ridiculous for this movie. Let me pull up this ridiculous cast. So again, we have Matt Craven, who shows up a weird amount. There is Viggo Mortensen is in this movie. Like he's very very young. James Gandolfini is in this movie as well. He's probably the best supporting actor in this movie. He is like so capturing in every single scene that he's in. I never really feel like I know where his character is going. Like it's such like a volatile performance.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it so much. Beautiful movie, perfect movie. Everyone should see it.
Didn't make my top 10, but this should be up there for a lot of people. This is just outside of mine. Great dad movie. Yeah, not much else to add. It's pretty perfect. It's pretty great. My number 2 is yet again another one that you've mentioned, and yet another with Tony Scott.
That worries me.
Man on Fire. This movie is so damn good. I appreciated everything that you said about it, so I won't add too much more other than the fact that it's been like widely shared throughout the years that most of the scenes with Denzel and Christopher Walken were almost entirely improvised is stupid with how good they turned out in this. It should not be anywhere near that good, and yet they both just bring these completely different personalities and bounce off each other wonderfully in the way that they should be. It's like reverse chemistry in a way.
Yeah.
And it could have gotten jittery or lost in what they were dealing with each other, but it just ends up being a masterclass in improvising. Denzel is putting on this aura of just I am the man and I am here to control everything throughout this entire film. Because it's a revenge film, like there's a lot of focus on Fanning in this, of course, and supposedly he like fell in love with her acting on this movie even because of that. It's just everything, all eyes were on her, but really at the end of the day it's him protecting this entire set from start to finish. Delivers an amazing movie. I am very due for a rewatch on this one, but this has been high on my Denzel list ever since the moment I saw it. And funny enough, you said Crimson Tide's one that you watched the most. I think Man on Fire is probably the one from him that I've seen the most throughout the years because it is like infinitely rewatchable and just entertaining from moment one. And Tony Scott is a fucking master in this film.
Tony Scott will do that to you. Like it's no wonder. And also to be Dakota and Denzel got to link back up in Equalizer 3. 2 years ago, which is quite cute.
Very. I'm worried if we're sailing towards the same number one or if
I think we are, but what's made me upset is I know that my number 2 is not present on your top 10. I was really holding out that we had the same top 2. Which hurts because I know we're gonna have the same number 1.
Okay,
for sure. Okay. It feels like to me a no-brainer. So my number 2 is American Gangster, directed by Ridley Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah. Perfect movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. Russell Crowe and Denzel are both so equally incredible in this movie. It's so odd to me that for as many times as Denzel linked up with Tony Scott, he's only linked up with Ridley Scott twice, now with Gladiator 2, but up until Gladiator 2, just once.
And even
Especially
that was later on.
yeah, especially like the performance that he gives in American Gangster as well. The true story mm, of Frank Lucas, the only intimidating man in a brown suit ever. He looks like a principal for all of this movie, and he is scary as fuck. Like Alonzo is maybe the scariest character he's ever done, but Frank Lucas is very, very close. Like his his nonchalance to violence is horrifying. He is not scared of nothing or no one. The one scene with Idris Elba in like on the street is, I'm not gonna spoil that scene, but it's a very, very good scene. And he does the craziest thing on the sunniest day in Harlem. It is the sunniest day on the busiest street, and he does not care a single bit. Some of the best performances that Denzel has ever given. I have at least 4 gifts that I regularly use that come from this movie. Russell Crowe is obviously fantastic in this movie. The cast, again, I mean, it's a Ridley Scott movie, so it's incredible. So like Chiwetel's in this one, Josh Brolin, Cuba Gooding Jr., Ted Levine's in this movie, John Hawkes, RZA is in this movie. I always forget that RZA's in this movie. It's so weird that he's in this movie. Also, T.I. and Common are both in this movie, which I think is so odd. Idris Elba, as I already mentioned. It's just like Carla Gugino is in this movie. Like, it's a ridiculously stacked cast. Like, everyone is a star in this movie. And yeah, it's brilliant. It's the only movie I think to this day where like I will only watch the director's cut because I just need more of it every time.
That makes sense. So no, it is not on my top 10. Here's my reasoning. I don't love Russell Crowe ever. This is the thing that I like him the most in. I just don't love Russell Crowe.
It's fine.
He's no Ethan Hawke. That's all I'll say.
Well, yeah, I think Ethan Hawke is better in Training Day than Russell Crowe is in American Gangster, but
I get it. I'm glad you love it. No, we don't have the same number 2. Number 1 then. Are we ready?
Yeah.
So Spike Lee's Malcolm X had to be number 1.
Boy. Of course.
This is first off, if you've never seen it, this is a long movie, but you should still watch it. Don't let that intimidate you.
It's like 3.5 hours or something.
Yeah, I think it's 320 or 325. 1992, directed by Spike Lee. Spike Lee is a big part of this movie, acting as well. But the main 3 that steal this whole movie: Denzel, Angela Bassett, and the incredible Delroy Lindo. Delroy Lindo, first of all, if he's in the movie, he is going to be amazing, and no matter what he's in. But the dedication to telling this story in this way is perfect through and through in this entire thing, all the way down to like the iconic recreation of the shot of him looking out the curtains. At like goosebumps when it happens.
It's so unnatural because like even if I remember seeing the still screenshot of that. And for a second, you have to process whether it's the real photo or not.
Right.
It is so uncanny.
Yeah, it's seeing that, especially the first time when it was the color screenshot of the still. It's like, huh. It was weird. But yeah, Denzel obviously, he's carrying this entire film. He is Malcolm X. He is delivering a performance that will never be topped in his career. Couldn't be topped. It's a 3.5 hour, just perfect, stone cold, absolute, like career best performance from somebody who only delivers career best. So many of Denzel's performances, people would dream of having that be their best, and it's not even his best in most of them.
No.
Spike is in another planet making this
Yeah.
movie. This movie is directed so beautifully, like the style that he gets from many of the shots in this. Obviously, he's always a stylish director, but this one is, it's special. Like, it captures the time, the zeitgeist, the themes, the emotions, the like the political policies in very deep detail that you just don't expect to feel resonate so heavily. I've shown this movie to many people, and every single time it's just people mesmerized. Again, long movie, but it's one that if you have not seen, choose a day, any day, make it a time to be able to enrich your life with 3.5 hours of Spike, because you deserve it.
Yeah, like also what I find so fascinating about Malcolm X, I've read Malcolm X's autobiography, which is what this movie is loosely based on, I think. I've read it a couple times because I find Malcolm X just such a fascinating character, just in life, in history. He's such an interesting figure. And his life very much does lend itself to a film format.
Yeah.
Because his life really feels like a 3-act structure. Like he starts out with like the gangster stuff and when he was a criminal, and then the second part of his life where he's part of the Nation of Islam, and then you have the final part of his life where he leaves the Nation of Islam and stuff like that. And I feel like Malcolm X does get misrepresented a lot in just history tellings and the way people quote him and the way people like talk about him. They talk about like him and Martin Luther King like they're two sides of the same coin. And Malcolm X is just such a layered and interesting person. Like, this movie does not pretend that everything that Malcolm X has ever said or ever done is perfect.
Right.
Even when he was like being a civil rights leader, where like everything is kind of, that's where his life is highlighted. Even then, like, he had a lot of questionable behaviors, he had a lot of questionable ideologies, and the movie never shies away from any of that. It is such an earnest look at such a interesting and layered man. And Denzel just crushes every single aspect of it, like every aspect of it. And obviously, because it's a long movie, it's a dramatic movie about a very powerful and dramatic figure in life. So you expect it to be kind of like, a very theatrical and dramatic movie, but it also can be very funny. It can also be very lighthearted.
Yep.
The scene where he first gets like the perm put in or whatever, and it like burns his head or whatever, and he has to stick his head in like the bowl of water or whatever. It's so funny. And when he's wearing like those big extravagant suits with like Spike's character, and like they're walking like doing that stupid lean, it's like it's so good. And yeah, I don't think Spike could ever top this movie. Like, as much as I think Spike Lee is a top tier director, there is something in this movie that just feels beyond him.
Yeah.
Like, this could be in Spielberg's catalog and still be considered like the best Spielberg. It could be in William Friedkin's catalog and be considered the best Friedkin movie. Like, it is just something otherworldly, and everyone is completely committed to making it as good as it is. And yeah, it's such a powerful and crazy movie.
I glossed over kind of, but again, Angela Bassett,
Yeah.
incredible in this movie.
Mhm.
Like an emotional cornerstone that you really need in some of the scenes that she is delivering in this. Yeah, this movie is beautiful. It is well written too.
Yeah.
God, um, Arnold Pearl and Alex Haley wrote this with Spike, but yeah, great stuff. Like literally through and through in this movie. There's literally nothing I would change, nothing I could take out, nothing I could add. Just the perfect movie.
Yeah, I am so beyond words for it. I wanted to rewatch this like before we got to this, but I just didn't have time to watch a 3.5
Yep.
hour movie. But I will be watching it again next week. I've been trying to show my fiance this movie forever, but as we both know, she's like a TikTok addict. So having her sit down and watch a 3.5 hour biopic about Malcolm X is not going down smoothly.
Right.
But I'll because we're engaged now, I have a lifetime to weigh her down on this. I will get her to watch this eventually, but I'll be watching this again next week. Yeah, it's one of those movies where like I don't rewatch it often because it is just so heavy and it is long, granted. But like as soon as I saw it, I knew it was number one, without a doubt. Like, and that will never shift.
Yeah. We're going to go through a couple that are close on our list because I kind of want to hear what else Krit has close. As we do that, anybody that's still watching, did you have a different number one? If it wasn't Malcolm X, what is it? Let me know in the comments. So I know you mentioned quite a few of mine were in like the 13 to 16 range. What else was close? I know you have Book of Eli at 11.
Where is Book of Eli? It's quite low. It's at 38.
Wow, that's higher than I expected. I'm gonna be honest. That movie is not good.
Yeah, the thing about that movie is Gary Oldman and Denzel are very good in it. So if you ignore how horrifically ugly and how stupid it is, it is quite fun.
What an argument for the film.
It is. I'm not kidding. It's the ugliest movie I've ever seen. It is abysmal looking. I couldn't achieve it if I wanted to. If I was making a movie, I don't think I could possibly make it look that dog shit. It's the kind of horrific that only comes around on accident. It's crazy. Anyway, right. we'll go from 25 and I'll just like shoot through. So 25 we have Remember the Titans. 24 is The Equalizer 2, which is the highest, my favorite Equalizer movie. Then we have Antoine Fisher, highest to lowest at 22.
Pretty high, nice.
Yeah. At 21 we have The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. And then entering the top 20 we have Cry Freedom. At 19 we have Much Ado About Nothing, which is my one of my favorite Shakespeare adaptations ever. Again, tracing back Denzel doing Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And then at 18, we have a really, really underrated one, which is A Soldier's Story.
This is the main one that I was going to bring up as soon as you were done, because I didn't think you were going to mention it. A Soldier's Story is super underrated.
Yeah.
Really great movie.
Far more people need to see A Soldier's Story. Denzel's like, not even, he's barely supporting. He's in like 2 or 3 scenes, but like still really good in it. But the whole movie's like very, very good. At 17 we have Inside Man, like we said. I forgot to say this when you were talking about this, but like you were saying like that Spike avoids what this movie could have been in other hands. And I was gonna say that if Inside Man was made today, it would be a Netflix movie.
Yep.
It would just be straight to Netflix, and it would have some nameless director that Netflix knew they could just control with like just a very boring and unoriginal cast, and it would have nowhere near the flavor that this movie does. Spike Lee and its cast really save it. So 16 is Glory. 15 is Philadelphia, which I was shocked wasn't in your top 10, because every time I talk to people about Denzel movies, Philadelphia is always in their top 10, and I thought I was going to get flack for not having it in there. 14 is Devil in a Blue Dress. 13 is The Hurricane, which is one of the most underrated Denzel movies ever, directed by Norman Jewison. Who also did another Denzel. He did A Soldier's Story.
Yep.
But yeah, it's about a real life boxer, Reuben the Hurricane Carter, who was wrongly imprisoned for murder, and it's about like his trial of like getting out of prison and stuff. It's a very, very, very good movie if you haven't seen it. At 12 is Gladiator 2, and 11 is one that I really was shocked wasn't in your top 5. Really, Fences.
It's good. It's not the top 10. It's not that special for me.
I think, granted, Fences is it's based on a play, right? It's directed by Denzel, based on a play that he did. I am a big theater guy, not like musical kind of Broadway theater, but like real just like stage acting theater. And I loved Fences already, as a stage play, so I was bound to love this, especially with like Viola Davis's performance in this movie, who I think again is one of the few times where Denzel gets out acted. I think Viola Davis eats him up in that movie.
Yeah, that makes sense. Only two I'll shout out, since you brought up Soldier Story. These are nowhere near the top 10, but I feel like are massively underrated in his filmography. Courage Under Fire is pretty damn good.
Love Courage Under Fire.
A big one I feel like people just forget exists. Ricochet is.
I knew you was going to say Ricochet. I was like looking at it at my screen. I was like, he's going to say Ricochet. Yeah, Ricochet is so fucking good, dude.
Well, the big thing is I love John Lithgow. So anything with John Lithgow is already like, oh, okay. So it's a 3-star film, even if you fuck it up. And Ricochet is like pretty damn good, actually.
Yeah, Ricochet's so fun, dude. It's got Ice-T in that movie.
And it's got that scene at the outside, wherever it is, where Denzel is holding the gun on him and like completely disrobes to show that he's got such like he's just so freaking bold. God, I love that movie.
Yeah, dude, Ricochet's so much fun. What else? Because I'm looking at my thing. The Magnificent Seven, the Antoine Fuqua remake.
It's not bad, yeah.
I actually like it a lot. I know, like, because people love the original Magnificent Seven and it's Seven Samurai, whatever, so people don't love this one as much. But I think if you just take it in a vacuum and not as a remake of what people consider a perfect movie, it is a really fun time. It's one of the few times as well where Chris Pratt is like actually really bearable. He's like quite charismatic in it, and also it reunites Ethan Hawke and Denzel.
True. I love the phrase "really bearable." That's like, can I buy that shirt? My size is extra medium.
Yeah.
Speaking of shirt, Ronnie wants to know what your Britney shirt is.
It's just a Britney Spears shirt, which is I didn't even buy this from us. I ordered this. Just so you know, I didn't see this in the wild. I searched for this, just so we all know.
Oh, Krit, I love it.
What else is good? I think the Mighty Quinn. I think a lot more people would like the Mighty Quinn. It's super underrated. Yeah, he has like a Jamaican accent. He basically plays like a detective trying to he's doing like an investigation in Jamaica, and it's really, really good. Also, like, it has the what's that boring guy's name from the Complete Unknown? What's his name?
The boring guy from the Complete Unknown. That's really funny.
Not the actor, the guy it's based on. What's his fucking name? Bob Dylan. There we go, Bob Dylan. He has the song "The Mighty Quinn," but they do like a remix of it, and it's really nice. So yeah, that's really good as well.
This has been really fun. We had a lot more crossover than I expected.
Yeah, same.
It's good stuff. Literally one of the greatest actors of all time. If you haven't seen any of our top 10s, please do. Absolutely worth watching all of them. But I get it. A lot of Denzel in a short period of time is intimidating, but so worth it. So worth it.
How do you think? I watched 56 of them in a month.
And then the last week, another 10?
Yeah, another 10 in like the past couple days.
Well, everybody go subscribe to Krit at the link in the description below. Like I said, go subscribe to the Patreon. Got that link down there. I'm about to start teasing a bunch of stuff. On that note, Krit, thanks for hanging out again. This is what, number 3 that we've done this, I think.
It's I just show it when I'm called.
The people that listen to this on a podcast later will be like, "What was that sound?" I'm not going to tell you because it was that amazing. Go watch the video because it's so good.
Yeah, I don't know. We say let's do a show, and then I show up, and then that's what we do.
And then it happens 2.5 months later.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I do really enjoy being here. I enjoy this format. I don't really get to do this format ever. I don't go on podcasts or anything. No one invites me anywhere. So this is it's nice to get out the house.
Shirt.
Yeah, it's lovely to get out the house and stuff. So,
well, thanks everybody for hanging out tonight and all the opinions. I mean, love hearing everybody else loving all of these, and it's Denzel, so it's. I mean, you could have 30 different answers, and none of them are really going to be wrong because he kind of only does great stuff. So it's been a good night. On that note, next Thursday is the first Thursday of the month, so Dr. Will be back. So let's all brace up for that, and we'll see you next week. Krit, thanks for hanging out. See you next time. Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share it with someone else that may appreciate this.